You guys talked about it during NASCAR Countdown Live. This place was wild, and it delivered big time in February. 4 races to go to the chase. I would say tonight will offer more of the same. Front row, Sam Mayer, Carson Kvapil. Here we go from Atlanta.
You see both lanes connected here. That's one thing that we do have different here at Atlanta is you are allowed to connect where you're not at Talladega and Daytona. So, it's going to be whoever can kind of stay connected the longest and who gets that good side draft.
And it's about having the momentum down into turn 3. That's what won Brandon Jones the race last weekend, was he had the momentum at the right time. As you see Carson Kvapil in what looks like the preferred position, but Mayer's fighting back on the inside. That car being able to stuck right to the bottom of the racetrack.
This first stage is going to be a really good test for the 41 because this is the worst his car is going to drive. They mentioned in pre-race how they trimmed their car out to get a pit selection next week. And, so this is going to be the worst that the 41 handles. If he can stay up front during this stage, I think he's going to be tough to beat the rest of the night.
Denny, it's a great point. It's the only driver that I heard say that they trimmed their car out. Every other person that we interviewed mentioned that they had put downforce into their car. Oh, you look at Sam slide up in front of the one right there, block the run that the one Carson Kvapil had coming on the outside.
Opens the door for that 2-car Jesse Love in the low lane.
Gosh, Sam is manipulating those lanes.
Caution, safe fuel.
Wheel and caution lights are on. It happens early. We've seen that, boy, a decent amount this year in the O'Reilly Auto Parts Series. Joey Gase in the 55.
Looks like he maybe has leaked a little bit of fluid onto the racetrack. We'll see how much of a cleanup that is. Gosh, what a battle.
Or what? Yeah, it seems like it.
And this is probably something that they would have found during practice, but here at this racetrack, you don't have practice. Just the time that you got to qualify is the time that you find the leaks of usually the install, the things that happen at the shop. When you see one blow up this soon, it's more than likely something left loose.
Watch the run right here that the one has on the outside. The 41 moves up the block. Ooh, that's almost too late to do that this early in the race. I love it, though, seeing the momentum that these guys can get. It's almost like you get a bigger run here than what we see at Daytona or Talladega just because of the size of the track.
Yeah, the width of the racetrack is a big factor in how big the runs are.
3 laps in, under caution here at EchoPark Speedway. Joey Gase having an issue. Mayer starts on the pole. He leads Kvapil, Love, Sawalich, and Sammy Smith.
Quapple. That's what I said. I hope he wins, though.
NASCAR on the CW is brought to you by O'Reilly Auto Parts, your professional parts people. The Credit One Bank NASCAR American Express card. And by Progressive Insurance. Get in the savings lane today. Visit progressive.com. Early caution here in Hampton, Georgia. The O'Reilly Auto Parts Series talked about the problems pre-green for Jeb Burton. He's taken it to the garage. You get a view of what they're working on here, courtesy of the State Water Heaters onboard camera. Well, it's been a tough day for Jordan Anderson Racing. The boss man driving the 32 didn't make a qualifying run because they had a tire issue. Blaine Perkins had all kinds of problems in qualifying, and now pre-green this for Jeb Burton.
Yeah, and you got to think, too, it's going to be super discouraging for Jeb because these are the tracks he wants to
He's good
showcase.
at these places.
Yeah, absolutely. He got his win at Talladega a few years ago, so certainly it's going to be pretty discouraging for them.
Let's get an update. Austin Hill back in 14th, Dylan.
Let's get some Starkey radio communication here from the 21 team. Potential issue for the 21 team.
Throttle pedal sticking. This feels really sticky. Like when I went to lift getting into 3, I'm pretty sure I was all the way off of it, and it was still over halfway down.
Yeah, so they're going to come down here as soon as the pits open and just try and figure out if they can get this issue resolved. Obviously, you need to have quick responses of all the pedals at a racetrack like this. And Derek Nealon, the spotter, and Chad Haney, who's the crew chief you see there, we're kind of discussing we may as well come down now while it's still early and try and figure this out before it becomes a bigger problem. So as soon as the pits open, expect the 21 on pit road.
Well, I'm going to need Austin to get that fixed because he's my pick.
Right.
Okay, like we're going to have to get that sticky pedal worked on here.
And usually it's kind of unique to have that kind of problem, this early in the race, but on a track like this where usually where there's like rubber buildup or something at the racetrack,
right,
you can get something jammed in there and get kind of caught in the throttle cable. But early on, it sounds like another install issue.
Still working on cleaning up the fluid that was on track, so we'll sneak in another break. Sam Mayer, the race leader. You're watching the O'Reilly Auto Parts Series live on a Saturday evening on CW. Glad you're with us. The wheel and caution lights are on. The same wheel and emergency lights and sirens you see on the safety vehicles here at the track are protecting first responders in communities all across America. How about this? 8 of the last 13 races in the O'Reilly Auto Parts Series have had a caution in the first 5 laps. So you got to get a quick reset. And Austin Hill did make a pit stop. We talked about some of the things they were fighting. You guys watched the pit stop there during the break, and we'll replay it here now.
Well, they went under the hood. You saw the guy kind of working the throttle linkage. See this guy falling on the side of the car. And they didn't see anything. The only thing that they were able to do is just lube it up a little bit, and maybe it was dry. You know, you wouldn't think that from the shot, but
It feels better so far.
that's a good sign. There you go. A little lube goes a long ways, Adam.
Well, here's what I'm thinking. I mean, qualified 11th, right? A lot of times you just anticipate they're going to be up front. But RCR didn't qualify great here in the spring, and we're like, oh, no, what's going on? I'm telling you, if they can get everything worked out, and it sounds like they have, this is fun for us to watch this guy come from the back.
And I wonder, when we talk about qualifying, they used to be dominant in qualifying, then dominant in the race. I wonder how much they've dialed back.
Well, they've been saying that. Like, as they do their interviews, and because they struggled here in qualifying in February.
Big time.
And they were like, listen, we think it's a handling racetrack. And they were quick in the race, but they weren't as fast as what we've seen over the past couple of years. But I don't know that it's that they've dialed it back. That's what racing is. It's about everybody trying to catch up. But they still, both he and Jesse Love, had cars more than capable of still being able to get to victory lane.
We still got plenty of time to make stuff happen here, even in the first stage. We'll be just fine.
My fear for him right now is that you go to the back. If we have an accident, it's a great time to get caught up in.
That's
yeah,
right.
You're gonna be right in the middle of it.
Yeah, because nobody's really even felt their cars out at this point, right? So, the field hasn't worked itself out to where the good driving cars are all up at the
Haven't
front.
cycled that way.
They're all over the pack right now. So you're going to have comers and goers. You just hopefully avoid that incident when it does happen.
Well, we're going to have to keep an eye on him for sure, because it's going to be fun to watch the 21 go from the back and work his way to the front.
Hey, if there's anyone who knows the value of a good crew, it's the professional parts people at O'Reilly Auto Parts. That's why they want to put the spotlight on the pit crew members that are essential to a race team's success. Let's go down to Kim.
Yeah, let's meet the jack man for Harrison Burton on the 24 car. Hailing from Houston, Texas, Noah Massey, you see right there, was recruited by Bowling Green to play football, but after 3 seasons and limited snaps, made the choice to step down to a D2 school, Angelo State. But that move put him back on the map after 2 breakout seasons. He got an offer from West Virginia in the Big 12, where he played for his final year of eligibility. And then it was on Big 12 Pro Day. Someone from NASCAR approached him about pivoting to racing, and he has not looked back yet. You see that victory lane photo. He recently got his first win as a crew member pitting for Corey Heim. You know that team well, Denny, at San Diego in the Cup Series. He called it surreal and feels lucky to have gotten a win in just his 2nd year on pit road.
Yeah, this is great. Great story, and that's something that we've been doing at 2311. We've been going to a lot of different pro days and college football campuses, and recruiting these guys. These are where the next athletes on these pit roads are coming from. And I saw him on the front stretch after Corey had won that San Diego race, and it was, man, he was excited.
He looks like a big teddy bear. Big old guy, smiling there the whole time, though, getting some love on TV. Good for him. It's fun to see these guys. And the evolution of pit crews from when you and I started in the Cup Series, when it was almost just crew guys from the shop, to these guys now, massive.
Yep.
Yeah, the training, the workout centers, and all of that is impressive. And, we talk about the win for Corey Heim. And, Denny, you have been, so good as an owner. And I think about the success at 2311. But let's not get too far away from what you've done behind the wheel. Such an impressive career. Let's look back.
Speaking of Denny Hamlin showing them all how it's done.
Hamlin right now with a comfortable lead.
To the line, the checkered flag is waving.
A dominant performance this afternoon.
And Denny Hamlin has won.
Gosh, I love winning.
Hamlin has just been on it all day long. Virtually flawless ability.
Denny Hamlin wins a wild one.
Hamlin gets to victory lane.
What a drive.
Denny Hamlin on his way.
Hamlin will make his way down to the start-finish line. He'll celebrate with the fans.
A mix of boos and cheers, but he welcomes it.
Denny Hamlin of old is back.
Give it up for your race winner, Denny Hamlin.
Hamlin wins the NASCAR All-Star race at the Monster Mile.
How do
did you make it look so easy?
I mean, that was Denny, right?
Denny Hamlin, big-time victory in Nashville. How about it? It's like deja vu. He just gets better and better. Exclamation point to finish it. Boy, has he been so impressive. Hamlin is on a heater. Gets his 3rd victory in a row, and it comes here at Pocono. You know, there's so many stats that are impressive. Over 60 wins, over 50 poles. I go to the over 20 seasons. The longevity, pretty remarkable, Denny.
Yeah, I mean, truthfully, I can't believe I've been here that long. I mean, time does fly, truthfully.
There's a lot of people that probably wish you'd just leave, you know?
I get it, no doubt about it. But, you know, I'm going to be here for a while as a team owner, so you're not going to get rid of me too easily.
There you go.
I've heard the rumblings that you want to retire, and I would encourage you to do it as long as you can. Seems like you just get better every single year.
I don't know where that balance is, but boy, I'll tell you, it's been so good and fun to watch, no doubt. All right, so the cleanup is complete. And this is going to be a short run when you talk about stage 1 and the way things unfold here.
How about our leader, Mayer?
Yeah.
At the bottom the first time, right? So I like this, though. He's going to get a little feel for both sides of that. He's got good cars behind him no matter which lane he would be in. You'd either have one of the junior motorsports cars of Sammy Smith or Carson Kvapil behind you. So, yeah, going to get a feel for what he needs right here. I thought Denny brought up a great point, too. That car, if it's trimmed out, the cooler it gets tonight, better it's going to be.
Mayer outside, got Kvapil behind him to his left, Jesse Love. Field is headed to the EchoPark restart zone. EchoPark Automotive, where car buying is easier, better, and happier.
Gosh, both those first 2 rows have done such a good job of getting hooked together. Saw them push all the way through turns 1 and 2 last time. They're still hooked together right here, coming off of 2.
See Austin Hill way back in the pack there, going 3 wide. He wants to get to the front as soon as possible.
I'd set the over-under at a position inside the top 15. Mayer gets a shove in that outside lane, takes over control of the race.
See Jesse Love gonna do a little side draft right here on the 1 car. I thought he might slide up behind him as we get a look at Austin Hill on the left-hand side of your screen, driving through all the kitty litter there into turn 1.
Scored 27th that last time around. Got Brennan Poole in front of him. Harrison Burton as well.
Mayer's finally got a little bit of a comfortable position right here with those guys being 2 wide behind him. You see him manipulating both lanes. Oh, look at how loose the 2 car was right there. It's like he hit that bump, got out from underneath him. Didn't really lose that much momentum. You see he's going to slide up now, get in behind Kvapil. Probably try to regroup right here.
So the challenge for the 41 car is not going to be when he's out front. It's if he gets shuffled somewhere outside the top 5, that's when it's going to be a challenge for him to drive his car in these conditions. But if you qualify on the pole and say, you know what, I'm just going to lead the entire first stage until it does go dark, then that's a pretty good strategy.
And the one thing that we have seen as we get another look right here, watch Jesse Love in the 2 car there. See him drive in, slides up the track a little bit. Not quite so bad on the replay as when we watched it live, but what I remember about Austin Hill and Jesse Love is when they had the fastest cars, when they would get shuffled back, they could get back to the lead within a lap or 2. So they never really had to spend much time in the back of the pack.
Austin Hill continues to work, 22nd. You got Kyle Sieg right in front of him in the 28. Going to the outside, 92, that's Leland Honeyman Jr. And look at our power movers presented by Powerball since the restart. It's plus 13 for the 21.
If you saw right there behind Austin Hill, that was Jake Finch making just his 2nd start in the O'Reilly Auto Parts Series. That's a great guy to try to follow up through there and learn from for him today.
Man, you talk about Jake. Only one other start came at Dover, but he does have a win in the draft at Talladega in the ARCA Menard Series, so he has experienced success in a stock car in the draft.
What these guys up front have gotten single file. I think they're just learning about what they have right now. You know, there was no practice earlier today, and so all these guys, it's not even just the drivers, it's the spotters getting used to the lingo and the talk that's going to happen. As we get closer to the end of the stage, you'll see everybody start to get more and more aggressive.
Finding the rhythm of the race. Talked so much about Brandon Jones, the big win last week. Atlanta native, looked at that inside lane, didn't pan out, slides back into line behind Allgaier. 87, Nick Sanchez. What a story he is at this place.
Pay attention to Nick Sanchez.
Yep.
He's been really good at this style of racing, and at this track in particular. This is great now. You see Allgaier pulled down in front of Jones. They're going to have a little bit of a lane on the bottom. You see that big gap between them. It makes you think that maybe Taylor Gray struggling a little bit with his car, not able to keep the speed up through the corners.
And it's pretty common here in these O'Reilly cars, especially when it's hot like this. The first stage, you'll see some single file. As this track cools off, that's when you're going to see the more and more of the pushing, the double file, and even 3 wide.
Confidence is what happens the longer this race goes on. The grip goes up in the track. You get more confidence in your car and what it's capable of doing and which lane you want to be in.
You know, it's interesting, when Sam Mayer was driving for Junior Motorsports, never led a lap here, but he's led in all 4 of his starts at Atlanta driving for the Haas Factory team. As we go on board with Ryan Ellis, it's the Tableau TV onboard camera.
Hear him having to roll out of the throttle just a little bit on entry. Those guys too wide. Oh, really got slow. Look how loose that car is.
We got one
on the wall.
Stay down, stay down, stay down. Now get up.
Whelen caution lights are on for a second time. Leland Honeyman Jr. had to get away from him in the 92.
There's some bad driving cars out there. I mean, from the onboards we've seen and what we see up here in the booth, there's some guys with their hands full right now.
It's like no contact, though. Look at the right side of that car, maybe a little bit with the right rear quarter. So we'll get a look at that again.
He was riding 19th when it stepped away from him. See Jordan Anderson there in the 32. He was one of those drivers coming from the back, didn't make a qualifying run earlier today. Think about this for Austin Hill. I said set the over-under at, getting back to the top 15. He's already 17th. And now, you feel like he's going to have great opportunities on restarts. You just pull the field back together and give him some more track position.
Flip side of that, it gathers everybody back up and puts you again in a position where you can get caught up, in someone else's accident. As we take a look at Leland Honeyman right here. Looks like he got loose right there. But look at that, no contact. You see the tires blowing out. Tell you what, to spin at Atlanta and only need 4 tires, that's a win.
Well, I mean,
Look
4
at those
wide off of
guys
turn
going
4,
by him right there.
Dodging and diving and trying to stay out of trouble. Jake Finch, we talked about him. Ryan Sieg, Kyle Sieg, all dancing around the 92.
Gosh, he's so lucky with those tires blown out to be right there at the entrance to pit road. We've seen so many times when guys ride around and just their car is not tore up and then it just gets destroyed from tires coming apart.
Halfway through stage 1 here at EchoPark Speedway, and already our second caution of the night. Mayer, Quapple Love, Sammy Smith, Raja Caruth, your top 5 on CW. Super.com is giving NASCAR Fan Rewards members the chance to win a VIP trip to Daytona weekend in August. Just 50 points could earn you an all-inclusive trip with round-trip flights, hotel accommodations, and club access. Scan the QR code to enter now. And if you're not a Fan Rewards member yet, sign up and get 50 points to enter, courtesy of Super.com. Second caution of the night. Warm evening here in Hampton, Georgia. We did have a few takers on pit road here. You can connect this by pitting now and make it to the end of stage 2 when it comes to fuel. When Brent Cruz came in, hit the orange box, so he gets a commitment line violation, and he'll have to come from the back, but was going to be back there anyway. Not an enormous penalty here.
Yeah, it's such a unique pit road because you do enter off turn 3. You see, not even not even close, right? Yeah. Like you have to be below that orange box.
I don't think he realized that.
I don't think he knew the rule.
Yeah, I agree.
Yep.
I said he hit the orange box because I just assumed. We didn't even flirt with the orange box. He didn't hit the orange box.
You think the spotter would have helped him in a position like that to be like, if you're already around?
I wonder, too, though, if it's a last-second decision, right? Like, I wondered that.
A little bit. And it's actually hard to see because it is the surface is pretty flat when you're coming up on it. It's very hard to see. But I think that intuitively, you
get down
run
way
right
early.
below the track,
right.
and that's the normal, merge-in lane. But it's not here. The rule is different at this racetrack because they don't want you near the racing surface when you're coming to pit road.
What about Mayer took the outside, and then second place, Quapple took the outside with him, so gave up the front row to be behind him right here. You have to think that the tire's getting a little bit of time on him now. Handling's getting more important in that outside lane. Maybe a little easier to drive on these restarts.
Last couple of weeks, I just feel like lane selection has been such a compelling storyline. 19 to go, stage 1. Leaders coming through the EchoPark restart zone. That's Sammy Smith down to the inside of Sam Mayer.
It almost looked like the 8 got a little loose when he initially got on the throttle, but the mistake's going to pay off. He's actually going to have the momentum, it looks like, on their side. Does it shift those? They go down the backstretch. It looks like Creed's also going to get connected. See those guys side drafting all the way down the backstretch. Look at the one just shoving Sam Mayer down the backstretch.
This is actually a vulnerable spot for the inside line. That's typically why you'll see people migrate up to the top lane, then get single file. Is that it's really hard to keep your car down on the bottom as you enter turn 3.
Seen this all race long. Mayer able to get out front. But Quapple can generate an awesome run, like multiple times. And I think when he wants to make the move, he can right here. But he's got to be able to time it out, because if you get stuck on the bottom, you could lose multiple lanes with Jesse Love or William Sawalich filling that gap on the top.
Starting to see Austin Hill sneak into the picture. 16th last time around in the 21.
He's loving being on the outside. Look how much momentum he has right there. That's where he's really made all of his ground up, is getting the guys outside. You got more on the 21, Dylan?
It's interesting to see them work their way through from the back of the field. I spoke to Chad Haney, the crew chief, earlier today, and he said, what we've done in the past and how we used to win here, those days are gone. And what he meant by that was being at the front of the field and kind of controlling things. Now, obviously, they've got even more work to do. But the difference maker, he said, and we heard Austin say this pre-race, is Austin and Derek Nealon, the spotter that works so well with Austin. They almost can be reactionary to each other before they finish the sentence, before Derek finishes the sentence. So that spotter-driver relationship super crucial at these type of racetracks, and Austin feels like that's the difference maker for them always here, and we're seeing that on display now.
Great information, Dylan. That's the one thing I picked up from when we interviewed Austin Hill in our pre-race show earlier today, talking about that communication with Derek. And Derek's been around a long time, has won a lot of races, and he's one of the best at this type of a track. And when you get a combination, as you know, I told you with Austin Hill at RCR, and then you get a great spotter, it's what you have to be able to win. You see Star Poli washing up a little bit in the middle. Austin Hill thinking about filling that gap. Thinks better of it. They all get back in line.
Dean Thompson right there in the 26. Really good start to the race, driving for Sam Hunt.
Big move right there by the 21 to go to the inside. It almost looked to me like he got tight through the middle of 1 and 2. But then was able to get to the inside. This is a cool perspective, that gyro cam, when you get in the corner. God, You guys scared me over there. I was looking at you and not the screen.
Right.
Nick Sanchez had Starpoli. All he wanted there on the front stretch, trying to give him a push.
Sanchez drove that car to victory lane last year. I mean, I'm not trying to stir anything up. I'm just saying, these are the facts.
Allgaier's been able to work the bottom a lot tonight as you looked up. Sanchez getting to the inside there of Starpoli. You got to think maybe the handling's going away on the 48. That car qualified really well, so was it trimmed out like we talked about with Mayer, our leader?
Riding with Raja Caruth. This is the St. Vincent and the Grenadines onboard camera. Looking back at Justin Allgaier, 4 of the top 6 right now from Junior Motorsports. And that 88 really good here in the springtime with Raja behind the wheel.
St. Vincent and the Grenadines,
How about that?
That's an onboard for someone.
Yeah. His parents actually met there when they were young. Pretty cool story.
That's a good story, yeah. We should go there on the off weekend, Adam.
Hey, you know, it's called the Chamber of Commerce. See what we can put together.
I'll be interested to see how Raja runs this race. I think he races best when he's loose, but he's in such a vulnerable spot in the
with the points.
Championship points, right? It's like, well, you need a good solid day here. You can't afford it, especially when you're in this car, right? He's only got so many races in this 88. He's in a good stretch now of races that he's in it. You got to take advantage of that.
He goes back to the 32 next week.
Ooh,
look at the battle for the lead. His teammate, I'll tell you what.
There you go.
Oh, and he made it look easy. Went to the inside. It didn't really look like Mayer was able to challenge him just the shorter distance around the bottom of turns 1 and 2.
Somewhere Carla Metz is smiling. She picked him pre-race.
That's right.
That was an impressive move.
No doubt about it. Usually you can time a run out, especially at this racetrack. We talked about how narrow it is. The runs become big here, and they're actually at the end of the straightaway on the front stretch. For whatever reason, the bend in that straightaway there just creates huge runs, and you'll see it a lot tomorrow in the Cup race as well. You shoot down to the bottom, you usually can get yourself back up.
Interesting to see if Mayer counters. Does he try to get back to the lead? Oh, look how loose that car is. Hang on.
Oh, my goodness, Sam Mayer, a kiss to the wall. But what a ride.
This is what we talked about. That car is vulnerable in these type of conditions.
Oh, he's got a flat.
Well, this is deja vu, right? In the spring, starts on the pole, has an issue, has to make an unscheduled pit stop, lost 3 laps, eventually got back on the lead lap, finished top 10, but given up a lot of points here when he had a great opportunity to capitalize.
And this isn't going to bring a caution out. He's going to be able to get to pit road unless that tire comes off. That was pretty big contact he had on the exit of turn 4 to knock that tire down. I think you said it, Denny. You get back in a little bit of dirty air. Gosh, he chased it forever.
You know, I don't know. I didn't like that I hear that the team trimmed out for this race to just get a good pit stall for Indy. I don't know about that.
Let's go to Kim.
Yeah, he'll come down so they can change that flat right front, and this kind of really foils their plan. Crew Chief Jason Trincherry told me points are all we are concerned about in the next 4 races. Their goal was to try and get to the top 6 in points before the chase starts, so this certainly hurts their chances of gaining any stage points here tonight.
So Mayer's on pit road, making the unscheduled stop with the issue. And look at the Alliance car, 51 Jeremy Clements. Major power from the veteran driver from South Carolina.
Yeah, he's been very impressive on the mile and a half this year. I mean, you know, they've made a lot of changes and a new Alliance, I guess, this year. So, yeah, Jeremy's been very, very impressive.
I like the fact that he didn't care if he might go to the back of the pack right here. He's like, listen, this is where I need to be on the bottom. He almost got to the lead within about a half a car length. You see now having to fight back with Creed. We get another look at Sam Mayer. Watch it how long. Look, this car's out. Loose, 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 loose. He's chasing it. It finally caught. Honestly, didn't look to me like he hit that hard to knock a tire down. Did he maybe have a flat prior to that? Is that what led to that? I'd love to hear from him and see.
I don't know. It looks like he's just loose.
Chasing
you know,
it, yeah.
and these cars, especially with this aerodynamic package on this type of racetrack, this early in the race, not a lot of rubber on the racetrack. This is the loosest the track is going to be. It's going to continue to get tighter as the race goes on, not just in grip, but this track is different. Usually on racetracks, you want the track to, it'll have its most grip when it's green, so not a lot of rubber on it. This track is the opposite of that.
It's weird, huh?
It actually gets more grip the more rubber that gets put down. So as the night goes on, it gets cooler. We talked about it'll gain grip, but not only that, but it's the rubber that gets laid down. And a lot of it is because this tire is more than likely the hardest tire that Goodyear has this O'Reilly series on all year.
That's such a great point. It's unique, like the asphalt maybe even being a little bit different. Some of the newer repaves tend to gain grip as they get rubber laid down on them. Well, these guys are going to want it. You see all these cars. Look at Creed, how loose he is on the bottom.
Yeah.
Raja's going to have the run now. Take it on the inside. Clement's behind him.
3 to go stage 1. They go around the 47 of Carson Ware, and that's big because that's another driver a lap down as Sam Mayer starts thinking about getting in the free pass position, maybe could wave around back to the lead lap at the end of the stage. We'll follow up there as we get through the caution at the end of this stage, but right now the racing at the front getting dicey because all these stage points are on the line. Going to be 2 to go this time around.
We haven't seen anybody, though, be able to go up other than Jeremy Clements and challenge Carson Kvapil. It's a great view as we see the 2-car. Look at the run that Sammy Smith's going to have behind. What does he end up doing? Does he try to take the run right here? Love's going to time it out. He does. Goes to the inside. It looks to, oh, he is. He's going to get him cleared right here. Great move by Jesse Love. Just textbook pass. It's exactly what we saw Carson do to Sam Mayer. Oh, he's going to have to block him now.
Kvapil back to the inside.
Yeah,
coming to 1 to go in the stage.
If he can't get clear, he is going to get clear.
Yeah.
Great job. The 1-car super fast tonight.
Now the 2's going to have a big run here because he's going to get the push from the 8. So watch the 2's run here. It's just a matter whether he gets to him before the entry of turn 1.
So much on the line. You want to take advantage when you're in position to get these points. And everybody up there racing for something.
And you see Jesse Love trying to go to the outside. You're trying to build that gap a little bit so you can have some momentum down the backstretch, but it just doesn't look to me like they were able to get the run they needed. Sammy Smith, ooh, the 2-car must have got tight right there behind him. Sammy Smith, great job to get back inside of him. Junior Motorsports 1 and 2.
Entertaining into the opening stage. Caution comes out. And it's going to be Carson Kvapil that wins the opening stage. Problems for Brandon Jones.
Looks like a flat right front tire, a little bit of fender damage.
If you look at the
fender
rest,
damage on both sides as well.
He does.
Most recent winner, and you know he wanted to come home and make a splash at Atlanta, and some issues as we wrap up the opening stage. And as you look at these results, just put a little bit of an asterisk there, no doubt on Kvapil, but because we're paying points on the final lap of a stage, you score based on where you are at the time of caution, so there could be a little movement there. We'll follow up. Let's see what happened here to Brandon Jones.
See, he's got a little run on his teammate. Oh, he just got up, got a little bit loose.
Wow.
Oh, and contact from Austin Hill.
Yeah, Austin Hill into the stage 12th, but maybe a little damage there. Carson Kvapil able to win the opening stint of the race at Atlanta.
the tire's rock hard. If
Yeah.
they want to group us back up, soften the tire up.
NASCAR on the CW is brought to you by Golden Corral. Golden Corral honors our nation's heroes. Progressive Insurance. Get in the savings lane today. Visit progressive.com. And by Toyota. Let's go places. Opening stage is complete here at Atlanta. Our stage break brought to you by Arby's. Carson Kvapil gets the win in the first stage, his second stage victory of 2026. Also won at Talladega earlier in the campaign. Now you've got the track position, you got control of the race, you want to keep it here. Leaders coming down Progressive Pit Road. Here's Dylan Welch.
And for Jeremy Clements in the 51, good stage points for them. The Haas Factory Team cars are fast. They're an alliance of that organization. They finished 6th here in stage number 1. Feel like the racetrack is going to start to go through a transition here as the sun starts to set. No chassis and handling feedback really from Jeremy. They're just going to change 4 tires and add fuel to the 51, Kim.
For the 2 of Jesse Love, just the front end needs help. Touch tight. He was having to live getting into the corner. You see the 1 of Carson Kvapil, little tight there at the end of the run. Roger Childers, though, telling his driver he's going to leave it alone, see what happens this stage. And then finally at the bottom, Sammy Smith, he said, I'm loose. In fact, I'm lifting because I don't want to run guys over, being very intentional with it. So nothing major, a wedge and an air pressure adjustment. Looks like maybe a little bit trouble on the 1, though, with that change.
Race off Progressive Pit Road. Big movement for Ryan Sieg, playing a little strategy there, perhaps. Sammy Smith comes out behind him, +1 for Raja Caruth. Carson Kvapil lost 6 in that exchange, and they're repairing things for Austin Hill after the contact coming to the green and white checkered flag. A reset and a restart when we continue. And now we do our golden moment, brought to you by Golden Corral. Whole lot going on in the pit lane.
Look at that, slides it in there, back around.
Mentioned the fact that Quapple lost 6 spots in the pit road exchange.
Saw they struggled to get that left rear tire off, and once it gets caulked, it's really hard to get it pulled out. Ooh, watch that.
Wow.
That hurt.
Yeah, 2 teams been great on pit road throughout the balance of the campaign, but some problems here. What do you have for us, Carla?
Hey, Adam. Yeah, I'm here in Victory Lane with CW All-American actor Michael Evans Belling. Today's Grand Marshal for today's race. That's pretty big. You're getting ready for that 8th and final season of All-American on the CW. How big of a weekend has this been for you?
This has been an awesome weekend. First time doing something like this. I mean, you hear the roar of the engine. I love sports. I love being able to be around competition, so to be able to be here and start those engines was really, really fantastic.
We appreciate you joining us. Adam, he plays Jordan on All-American on the CW.
Look forward to checking it out. Thank you, Carla. Want to go to some of the strategy that played out here. So Brent Cruz, we talked about the fact they were penalized when they made their pit stop earlier. Here's the deal, though. Everything cycles through. He stays out here. He and Harrison Burton pitted at lap 24. They'll lead us to the green. Ryan Sieg was also on that same strategy. Came down, tops off the fuel tank, but we mentioned the fact he was first off pit road, so he's up there as well. Sammy Smith, the first that came down here at lap 49 and got 4 tires, and because those drivers stayed out at the front of the field, Sam Mayer not eligible for the wave around, so he's still 1 lap down.
Yeah, and Austin Hill, we saw him leaving pit road. He's getting up to speed now, just about to the exit of turn 2. If he times that out just right, he's gonna have all the momentum. He's flying, trying to get up to speed right here. I think he's gonna catch them. Even if he doesn't catch, I think the momentum he's gonna be able to carry. It's a good perspective right there. You see right in the middle of 3 and 4 is now they're off. Cruz with a nice little launch.
Yeah, bringing us through the EchoPark restart zone. 19 in charge to begin stage 2.
And Austin Hill just did an awesome job timing that out. He's gonna have all this momentum, gets to the outside of a bunch of guys. They have Sieg pinned on the outside, just fading to the back with no momentum.
Inside lane, wins out on the restart. Harrison Burton with a jump. And right behind him, Raja Karuth.
Gonna keep our eye on Raja. He was really good here when we were here in February. Even with his car tore up, I know we have seen some of these guys with some damage, but that 88 car was tore up in February and still really fast at the end of the race, and he does a great job. And Sammy Smith, 3 wide. He talked about kind of taking it easy in that first stage. Well, gloves are off now.
Another driver up there in that mix we haven't talked about tonight, Corey Day, 17, quiet start for the driver that won the last time we were in the draft at Talladega.
Brent Cruz gets hung out now. You see those guys, I don't know if it's that he just doesn't have the grip that he needs from, staying out longer on tires, or if they just didn't want to deal with him at this point in the race, but going backwards.
Yeah, I've been watching Corey Day. He's been slow and methodical towards the front, but he qualified 13th, so he's got a little bit of grip to his race car, and I think he's going to be a factor in this thing.
I wonder about him final stage, because to your point, we didn't talk about him. We're ending stage 1. He pops up inside the top 10, got some stage points, and now he's very much in the game. Boy, Harrison Burton with a handful. Sheldon Creed right behind him.
Then he's going to get a taste of the HendrickCars.com syndrome that we have. Those guys always normally have at least 2, sometimes 3 in the O'Reilly series, and they always tend to run right around each other.
Carson Quapple on the comeback train after the issues on pit road, making that outside lane work, driving around Brent Cruz.
Look at Raja on the bottom. He's kind of committed to that. Oh, they get loose.
Yeah.
Harrison Burton got loose, and it looked like that forced Creed to check up. Corey Day moves down to help Raja, see if they can build that momentum.
And this is a tough thing for Harrison Burton because your car is already out of control, and you've got Sheldon Creed right on your back bumper, and it's just making it worse.
Yeah, he's lacking grip, and you get any help from behind, it just magnifies the issue that you're struggling. Oh, a little contact right there in the front. Look at
Creed hanging on.
Oh my!
Well, his teammate already had a wild save, and the 0-0 going for a ride here.
Dude, Sheldon got into the wall and was sideways. I can't believe he was able to catch that. I don't know what prompted that to happen, whether it was contact from someone behind or if Harrison had to check up a little bit. They've all spread out now, though.
You know, we start talking about the exchange for points. We'll get to that in a minute. First, the replay of Creed.
Yeah, you got to think, does the one give him a little help? It doesn't look like it. Sheldon just, honestly, just drove in. It looked like the entry of the corner, whether it's because he couldn't see from the car in front of him.
He might have premeditated, thinking, I'm going to
get to the outside.
I'm going to get to the outside of Harrison Burton here, and just actually misjudged it.
Yeah.
I thought Jesse Love was going to get the lead. Raja Carruth shooting down the middle, now inside of his teammate Sammy Smith. Allgaier right there, a part of that mix as well. 1, 2, 3 Junior Motorsports, and then it's Corey Day, and the wheel and onboard camera takes us with Jesse Love.
And listen, we talked about this in the pre-race show that, we got a little contact from Staropoli. Hang on.
He's been out of control for a little bit of this race, so
since the green.
Yeah.
Well, we stay green.
Oh, we do. Yeah, he's going to get it going here. Oh, be careful merging back up. There's a car coming.
He was 16th, having a pretty good night after qualifying 10th earlier today.
I like they kept it green right there. Staropoli hadn't hit anything. He's going to be able to go on. I don't even think he has any flat tires. We get a look at it right there. Just wow, just got out from underneath him. Simply just loose right there.
Sammy Smith making his 8th start at Atlanta and leading laps for the first time. It's a JRM train out front. Allgaier second, Carruth third. Corey Day, Carson Quaffle complete the top 5. Halfway through stage 2, it's the O'Reilly Auto Parts Series live on CW from EchoPark Speedway, just outside Atlanta. Entertaining start to the race. Stage 1 goes to Carson Quapple. Junior Motorsports has looked outstanding. Sammy Smith leading right now. Jeremy Clements continues to impress in the 51. Parker Retzloff has worked his way to the top 10. So a few new players to the game here.
I tell you, we were talking during the break that I'm confident the 51 is the best driving car right now in that front pack. If he can just figure out how to time his runs, stay in the draft at times, know when to pull out, I tell you, he's got a lot of speed.
Well, speaking of big runs, watch this. Creed has a massive run. Oh, gets right into the back of Carson, who moves up, trying to get back in line.
I think he misjudged again.
That could have been massive right there. Watch the one slide up, try to get in line, and then Creed just mistimed that a little bit. Big contact with the back of the one.
Creed's the other one that has got a lot of speed, good handling, good speed. He's going to be a factor.
The one thing I've noticed, about all these guys is they get to the corner, they're all fanning out. Like they're all just trying to get a little bit offset. That's an indication to me that grip is going away, and they're all hanging on. They can probably still run just about wide open, but they're really having to hustle the cars to keep the momentum up.
Well, and if you're these crew chiefs, you start making notes about what does all that mean for that final stage, and how do you manage what would be that last set of sticker tires.
I liked riding on board with Raja right there, because you can hear the engine and you can hear the pitch of the engine, and he was able to run wide open. As you listen right there, there's really no lift at all as he's trying to figure out how to time this run out.
Is he, or is he content riding, you think?
I don't know, he's not. I don't really hear him lifting out of the throttle, and normally if handling goes away, you'll lift kind of on entry, get yourself a little bit of a gap. It looks to me like the 88 car is handling well. Just don't seem able to really time out the run that he needs right here.
Time to go full throttle with Sound Gear. Wherever sound is a problem, Sound Gear has the solution. Scan the QR code to learn more at soundgear.com. Turn it up.
Machine and then 5 on M00. Right now they're a second.
I'm really impressed with how tight Raja, Justin Allgaier, Sammy Smith, those three cars, look how tight they're running together. You see Carson Quapple has that little bit of a gap. He'd like to be up there, but the handle of his car won't allow him to do it. But these junior motorsports cars, really fast, and it looks to me like they handle really well as we're finally kind of getting into the rhythm of the race. I think Denny's right. Maybe a little content right here. Teammates putting some laps in. We're down to 15 to go. We'll find out when it gets to 2 or 3 to go, who has what and what speed that they have in their cars. But a little bit of a breakaway from those top 3.
Big here, too, going by Starpoli. That will put him a lap down. Sam Mayer will no longer be in the free pass position. 14 laps to go, stage 2. Test your luck and make your power play by heading to your local lottery retailer to get in the game for tonight's estimated Powerball jackpot of $457 million. 7 laps to go, stage 2. O'Reilly Auto Parts Series racing here at Atlanta. Sammy Smith comes into tonight's race, had led 17 laps, right? Just not a lot of splash for that race team. They've faced a lot of problems throughout the early portion of the campaign, but here they are tonight, 29 laps out front and 6 away from a stage victory. But there's a lot of work that he's going to have to do between now and the green and white checkered flag.
When we were riding on board with Raja Karuth right here, I saw him go to the bottom the last time through turns 3 and 4. There was a lap car down there, so he had to get back up in line, but he's searching. You know, we're down to just a few laps to go, 5 laps to go this time by in the stage.
Little bit
of
lift.
Yeah.
Little lift, right? And that might be why he's going to the bottom of turns 3 and 4 right there. He's like, you can run wide open and get out of the draft or lift a little bit and stay in it. So it's kind of a balance.
And Adam, the guy, you know, when we interview the drivers and we talk about coming here, everyone loves coming here. And as Denny and I were talking at break, he looked up and he's like, as a competitor, this is awesome.
Yeah.
Because the field was tight on the restart. As tires have worn, they're kind of getting single file. Guys are running right up against the wall. It reminds me of Daytona 2009, 2010, prior to the repave. It was just awesome racing. We had packs at the beginning, and then it would fade into you needed some handling at the end.
And we knew this racetrack would get to this point at some time, right? The surface is not going to have an infinite amount of grip for year after year. It's going to lose some every year. And with this aerodynamic package, with this car, these cars were going to be the most grip limited before the Cup cars. So we knew this was going to happen eventually. It's just a matter of, does it tighten up as the night goes on?
Parker Retzlaff is 8th. Let's get some 99 radio.
There's a reason why the leaders are running the top. That is why it's also better for your stuff and your tires as we run. If I could run the top without crashing, I would run the top. Copy.
You got the message across on
Well,
that one.
yeah, normally there's an F-bomb that comes out in the middle of a driver telling a crew chief that, but Retzlaff may be too loose to run around the top of the racetrack, so he's having to get some clean air and run just a little bit lower. They can make some adjustments, though, and get that car better for him.
Yeah, and I agree. That's a great assessment. The reason he's running lower there is he needs the air. He needs the air to push down on that car. That's what gives these cars grip, because the tires are so hard that you need the downforce to saturate the tire, which creates the grip, which creates the ability to drive.
2 to go on the stage. Retzlaff in line for stage points as they run right now, 60 above the cut line. Really good opportunity for him to go make the chase. 1-2, Sammy Smith, Justin Allgaier.
And we saw Raja starting to lift just a few laps ago, and now he's starting to drop back from the pack, so he might fall back actually to the Quapple and Day group.
And Denny mentioned earlier, so we have 1 to go right here, that he thought the 51 of Jeremy Clements might have been the best driving car. I could argue the 7 right now, because he has run right behind the 8 the entire time. He's going to try to get a run right here, see if he can make something happen the bottom of turns 3 and 4.
Maybe a little bit of a rehearsal for what we'll see later in the race. Allgaier looking inside of his teammate.
Gonna get inside of him.
Stage 2. 7 inside, 8 outside. Back to the line. It's going to be a photo finish to end the stage.
Allgaier.
How about it?
I couldn't believe Sammy Smith gave up the bottom. Like, the distance was going to be too high for Allgaier to get to the outside of him. You got to cover the bottom, especially in the final corner there.
Allgaier, by 3/1000ths of a second, gets the stage 2 victory.
Listen, Adam, you said it. You got to use the end of that to learn. Sammy Smith's going to learn as well. If he's in that position at the end of this race, he doesn't open up the bottom.
Allgaier's 7th stage win of the year, and this move was key for him to get ahead of the curve and outrace his teammate back to the green. As we head into the next stage, it's time to fuel up with Arby's new Angus cheesesteak with 100% Angus beef, melty Cooper cheese, and a toasted Amoroso's roll. It's exactly what you need to finish strong. Race to yours by texting RACE to 27297 to get notified about Arby's exclusive deals. Order your cheesesteak in the Arby's app today. Man, I wish we had had a little more time.
We should do it, Adam.
Before the pre-race tonight, James.
Yeah, we would have. You think you could outlast me on the bull?
I don't know how many quarters it takes to make that thing work, but I'd put them all in there for you. And if Parker were here, I'd put $100 bills in to see him do it. Stage points here tonight. A lot on the line for all these guys, including Raja Karuth, who comes in below the chase cut line. Now you want to get after it on pit road. Saw a lot of action there into stage one. Who gets it done here? Progressive pit lane is open, and they're coming to you, Dylan.
Yeah, good stage points here so far for Corey Day. He's scored 10 of them, and he'll pit from the 5th spot here at the end of stage 2. He said the balance stayed neutral. Only report for maybe a little bit of help was that he was a little bit tight on the top into turn number 3. So they'll try to make an adjustment to help that. 4 tires and fuel. He slides into the box. That's going to hurt him a little bit, Kim.
And for Sammy Smith, he said the balance is better, but it was too tight. Definitely tighter on the bottom. They'll make an air pressure adjustment as well as that chassis adjustment, a little wedge there out. And then for Raja Karuth in the 88, didn't really have a lot of feedback on the balance. He said he didn't have a good enough run to challenge his 2 teammates in front of him. And finally, Justin Allgaier, also tight, really tight, he said on the bottom. So they put air in the right rear.
Raced off Progressive Pit Road. Junior Motorsports, top 4 spots into the stage. That's how they come off the pit lane. +2 for Jesse Love. +4 for Austin Hill, who's right in it. And the guy going in the wrong direction, Corey Day. Dylan talked about the fact it's been a good night in regard to stage points, but this miscue will cost him track position as we restart the final stage. We'll reset where he is when we return on CW. NASCAR on the CW is brought to you by O'Reilly Auto Parts, your professional parts people, and by Progressive. Save when you bundle motorcycle, RV, and boat insurance. Visit progressive.com.
I'm disappointed. I thought you were going to let Denny read the Progressive
I know,
line.
I thought about
disappointed.
it. I thought we could have him talking to the car in here, you know? Hey, the wheel and caution lights are on. What you're seeing on the track is the same wheel and emergency warning technology used by police, fire, and EMS vehicles across America, trusted every day to protect those who protect us. Let's get an update from Carla.
Yeah, Adam, we know Austin Hill has been focused on getting back into this race. He finished stage 2 P10, but yesterday he was focused on visiting the Seacrest Studios at Children's Healthcare of Atlanta. It's a nonprofit that brings interactive media studio into pediatric hospitals, providing a fun outlet for children during their treatments. This thing started back in 2009. There are now 14 of these nationwide, and also just really special for Austin, who has 3 children of his own. Obviously, he's from Georgia, but just a really meaningful visit for him this week and a chance to give back to his home state.
A lot of conversation on the radio as we start the final stage. What teams are thinking in terms of can they make it with the fuel window they have? So let's get some Starkey in-car communication from Sammy Smith's 8 team.
I'd rather try to be second and save, like push hard so we separate ourselves and then save, or save from the start.
I think if you guys can get strung out single file again, you can save a whole lot more than the other way around.
And then his crew chief, Corey Shea, after that, again reiterated, based on their last run, he said, we'll be right on our number, so I do need you to save, save, save.
And typically you can, the right strategy would be just go all out here. Get the track position you can. Let's see how this race starts to play out. If it starts to string out, you will have opportunities to save fuel. But right now, inside the last stage, nearly inside the, pretty much inside the last fuel window, you got to get up front.
Someone to watch here on the restart 19 Brent Cruz. They had lost that track position, right, when they had flipped the stage on those older tires on that restart. Right back in it. Good pit work inside the top 10 as we begin the final stage. Front row, front 2 rows, all junior motorsports. Allgaier, Carruth get us going. 65 to go at Atlanta.
There's a little contact with Raja and Justin Allgaier there right before the start. But
Jesse Love 3 wide on the top.
Got his teammate there with him.
Oh, he does, but is that going to work out? You see that outside lane. Oh, they're going to be 3 wide, multiple rows deep now. This is going to get sketchy for all these guys.
Well, those are all RCR Alliance cars, right? You got the 2 of Jesse Love, 21 Austin Hill, 87 Nick Sanchez.
You mentioned Brent Cruz. Look at him in the bottom of your skirt, the bottom row, second row back. He had an awesome restart by.
That dude, he just gets better and better throughout every race, and he needs to make it happen here, right? Because you look at his advantage right now being shown plus 11 to that chase cut line.
See those 2 RCR teammates on the outside trying to make that work.
Look who's back in it at the front. Sheldon Creed just laid in the weed, stage 1, stage 2. The man that won here in February, back on point in July.
And Allgaier, who was our leader, kind of stuck in the middle right here. Talked about how good that car handled, but he's just gotten in the wrong lane and just going backwards. Now he's, oh, look at the run he's going to have, though, right here.
He's got a lot of center corner speed. If you look at where they qualified, the 7 qualified the worst out of all the junior motorsports cars. So that tells you they had the most downforce built into it, which is why he was so good in that long run.
Well, and one thing to point out,
Harrison Burton, Dad Jeff won here a couple of times, and this will produce caution number 5. He was 17th, so having a decent night. Teammate Dean Thompson in the top 15 right now, so both those cars from Sam Hunt have had their moments.
Yeah, blew up.
Yeah, it's frustrating.
I mean, this is their year, right? I mean, they've had some flashes here in the last month or so, but just overall not what they expected coming into the campaign.
Yeah, that's a massive blow up for that engine. You see The smoke, the oil coming out of that. I can't believe those guys behind him. Normally, if you see, the smoke just come out of the tailpipes, they're not laying oil down. But the fact that it's coming out of the front wheel wells of that car, man, Taylor Gray lucky right behind him to be able to get by.
Yeah, we saw Charlotte, right? The guy with a blown engine, everybody behind just.
20 of them in a row.
But what this takes me to, Kim was talking about how close everybody is. You get some caution laps, maybe a bunch of them, depending on the cleanup here early in the stage. Just builds a lot of insurance and confidence on where you are in regard to fuel for this final run.
Yeah, and what it's going to do is crank up the intensity, too. Now, if you get the whole field not worried about fuel, then you're going to see guys really going after it.
Sam Mayer, first car, 1 lap down.
We're back in it.
He's back.
All righty, so we talk about the caution being out for the 24 of Harrison Burton. Another Toyota having issues here. Brandon Jones, last week's winner, drifting high and got a piece of the wall. Back after a break on.
Second place finishes the last 4 seasons.
He hangs on to it. Here's Sheldon Creed out front.
Can you believe it?
Green again. Here we go to settle it in Atlanta.
They're about 1.5 out the back, still 3 wide.
Big run on the outside by the 2. He's going to be able to get to the 00. Is the run going to come from Sheldon Creed now to go for the lead?
It's like choreography.
Look at him go for the lead right here into turn 3.
Crossover. Here's Austin Hill down to the inside.
He turns Austin Hill sideways on the apron.
He's going to do it. Sheldon Creed delivers at Atlanta.
What about that, Sheldon Creed? About time.
been a loser the last few years and just kept showing up. Probably going to drink a ton of Coors Lights tonight.
Thank you guys so much. Wow!
Finally.
That was so fun.
Favorite moment in TV for me.
That's cool.
Yeah, I would say those last couple of laps with you and Parker, and all of us lost our voice. We were so excited, and I tell people all the time, getting to be in the booth is the next best thing to driving the car. You get your heart rate gets up. You just get so excited up here, and to get to hear the excitement that you had. The pitch even got a little bit off there at the end. It was a great moment.
You know, I think about drivers that get their first career win in this style, and we just saw the graphic. Last 2 times we've been here in the spring, February, it was Sheldon Creed. Last summer, it was Nick Sanchez. Look up there. You got Raja Caruth. You got Cruz. There's Retzloff. I mean, there's a lot of guys in the top 10 right now that feel like, hey, maybe tonight is my night. What about the 18-year-old Brent Cruz, Dylan?
Running as high up as they have been all night in the 3rd spot right now. So speaking with crew chief Seth Chofka earlier today, as we'll give you a Toyota driver update on Brent Cruz. Seth noted that they last summer with Eric Almirola in the car for this race were really, really loose to start the race. They thought they were in a good spot, and then they got the green flag. So for today, for Brent, they started their balance on the tighter side, and frankly, they overdid it a little bit. Brent was way too tight to start, so they pitted in the middle of stage 1, got him fixed up. The balance has gotten better for him here as it started to cool off. But the best thing that they can do today is get this car to a finish up front. They needed to be smart about their points today and in these next few weeks, given where they're at in the chase standings. They haven't scored stage points tonight just because of how they did the stages earlier, trying to get the car a little bit better. So they've got to get a good finish today, frankly. That's almost imperative because they haven't scored any stage points. So trying to keep this car up front here over the final 57 laps going to be key for the 19 today.
Yeah, I mean, 57 laps to go. You're right in the game, but that's an eternity at this place, no doubt. EchoPark Speedway in Hampton, Georgia, just south of Atlanta. Always great when we come here, and we got a beautiful Saturday night for it. The fastest growing network in all of television is News Nation. News Nation respects all Americans and is news for all Americans. To find News Nation on your screen, go to newsnation.com. And closed captioning for this race brought to you by Tableau TV. Watch, pause, and record live TV for free. Just pay once for the device and then watch forever.
Can't help but think that caution put a lot of these guys in a great position now for fuel. And I say that just because I think the intensity level is going to continue to pick up here.
I'm ready to make my race pick.
No, you don't get to do that.
Why?
Who would you pick?
Raja.
How about that?
There you go.
Another first-time winner.
First career win.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
I'm going to wait till 2 to go and make my pick again.
Whoa. No, I mean,
but you
the
think about
slate
this.
is clean. We feel like everyone's going to make it on fuel. You see the order.
Listen, you're our guest.
I've seen enough.
You can make the rules up as you go. It's no problem. Whatever you want to do.
And
It's
I might
Denny's
change
day.
them, too.
That's right.
If anybody knows what a win means in regard to points, you know. And I look at where he sits and what a win would do tonight with all those extra points. I mean, that would be huge for that race team. Won a couple of times this year with Kyle Larson behind the wheel. The 88 has. Sheldon Creed in control, outside lane, 54 to go.
Great restart by both those first 3 rows, really all hooked together. See Jesse Love going to try to make that outside work with his teammate. I just don't think outside it's so far around on the restart. Those guys are running wide open through there.
Yeah, and the gaps between the cars is going to start to get smaller now that the track is picking up grip. So it'll be a little bit more difficult when he does choose to go to the outside like right now.
Oh, and his teammate fills the gap.
Yes.
Decides not to go with him.
Yep, and then there's no gap behind him either. And now here comes the 20. So this is where you really got to be aware and be very strategic with when you choose to take the run.
Inside lane, JRM, Alt Junior Motorsports, Carruth in front of Quapple and Sammy Smith, but not enough momentum there to push him out in front of Sheldon Creed.
Look at Retzloff.
Yeah, on the 99 getting wound up.
Retzloff trying to do the same thing we saw Love do. We'll see what Austin Hill decides to do. Did not follow his teammate through, but the momentum was on the outside, and we saw Allgaier get kind of stuck in the middle on that restart a little bit ago.
Still got a great side-by-side battle for the lead.
Austin Hill gets to the outside again. He's in that white and blue number 21 on the top side. Has put himself in a great position here.
Hill's won here 5 times.
Look at him.
It hasn't
outside
always
again.
been easy. He's faced his fair share of problems tonight.
Brandon
We're heading
Jones.
toward the, we got problems. Corey Day and Taylor Gray in a 54.
I wonder if this was not a byproduct of Brandon Jones just
they all
out of
kind of
control.
checked up.
Out of control, and you know, all it takes is one group not to check up and someone doesn't see it and you got a multi-car wreck.
They were just outside the top 15. Caution number 6.
Heavy damage to the 54.
And I tell you, you look at the Achilles heel of Joe Gibbs Racing is super speedway racing or drafting type of tracks. It seemed like all of their cars today have just been out of control, just barely hanging on. Brent Cruz, while he's up there, he really was fighting his car pretty early in the day. The conditions probably have helped him here. But I think if he gets back in the pack around 10th, that's just where that car's not going to drive well.
A couple of things to think about here. You see Taylor Gray sitting there with all that damage. He has dropped to 12th. He's on the chase cut line, and right now showing only 13 above the cut. This is the 15th time this year they've had some kind of an issue.
See Brandon Jones right here, slides up, a little contact from Alfredo. Yeah, it's just and Taylor Gray hard into the outside wall. It's the accordion effect. It's not necessarily the car that gets into the wall. It's 4 or 5 back that pays the price for that. Oh, what a save.
Scott
what a save by LeVar Scott.
Had a little punt from behind, but he's able to hang on.
Gosh, that's a hard hit by Taylor Gray in the outside fence.
What I'm noticing, too, is after that restart, look how much guys were starting to fight for the track position, taking every run they can get now because they know that just this race could end up going by pretty quickly.
Yeah, I mean, it'll just continue to get more and more aggressive the longer we run. We think fuel savings is completely out of the equation right now, so Going to take every run you can. Brandon Jones just struggling. Had a little contact earlier in the race and got that car tore up. Corey Day just wrong place at the right time. Heavy damage to his car.
Well, and you know, we talk about the point situation for Taylor Gray. You go to Corey Day, he's still got a real shot to finish second in the regular season. And that is so big when you start thinking about the reset and the difference in points as we enter the chase at Darlington. And now tonight he has a bad night. He's dropped to fourth. Creed has jumped up in front of him in third.
And Corey's going to beat himself up because you think about it when he slid through a stall, right? Had to back up, put himself in the back of the pack, and then ends up getting in a wreck. We talked about it with Austin Hill. He was able to survive that, but the circumstances put the 17 in a bad position, and then the night went from bad to worse.
Our sixth caution of the night has turned into our first red flag. They've stopped the field as we got a lot of cleanup to take care of here.
That's going to be tough on the 54. I mean, yeah, you can't leave today on the hook. You know, you don't want to. And then now you got Raja up there contending for the lead, and you know that that's just going to get worse if Raja goes and wins. There's 15 extra points now to going out there and winning, so this could be a big day for him.
I hate points. I hate points. And listen, as we were talking about earlier today, because of the fact that we have Atlanta and Daytona, 2 of our last 4 races, there's so much to be gained, but there's also so much to be lost. And as we look at that, obviously Raja's pretty close right now, but look, if he gets caught up in a wreck on the next restart, that all, you know, reshuffles and Taylor's in a little bit of a better position.
Here's the one thing I would say, though. You got to take advantage. Denny said this earlier.
Yeah.
When you're driving the 88, he's going to be in the 32 next week. Chase Elliott driving that car at Indy. So if you're Raja, go absolutely get all you can, because after next week you reset, you're driving the 88 the rest of the year. And tonight you're in position. Go make sure you take full advantage of this opportunity. Red flag is out here at EchoPark Speedway. Chain reaction, 54-17, done for the night. It's Sheldon Creed leading here in Atlanta. Cleanup continues here at EchoPark Speedway. It's the O'Reilly Auto Parts Series racing on CW. After tonight, only 3 races to go to the chase. Hard to imagine. Interesting time in the schedule, and still a long way to go. This one, 50 to go. Here's Kim Kuhn.
Yeah, Rajah Caruth, P2, having a great race tonight. Also had a great race in the spring. Remember, he led 22 laps, won a stage, finished 8th. So I asked him what he took from the spring race that he can apply here, things he can and can't do differently. And he said there were 2 things that he put in his notebook from the spring. A, don't leave his right rear vulnerable, and then don't get overzealous too soon. He said, I need to save the intensity for the end of the race, and he kind of referenced a move he had made close to a teammate with 30 laps to go in the spring race. But it sounds like, based on the in-car audio I've just heard, that maybe his team owner wants him to be just a little bit more aggressive. Take a listen.
Rajah, when you're clear of the outside line, you got to jump in front of them to stall them out.
Yeah, for sure. I just was trying to keep connected, you know, but I know I was clear. Didn't take it, so I'll do it next time.
Well, I think that's kind of where you want to be, and if you can jump in front of them guys, that bottom thins out sometimes, and you guys got to work together to sort of understand that. But I think you got to, if you're clear, I think you jump in front of them.
So I think that it might initially sound like be more aggressive. He's actually telling them to be conservative. Take the win that you've got. So when you pass someone, a lot of times as a driver, especially when you have a great handling car, you shoot to the bottom. Well, you clear the car you're initially starting to pass, and next you know there's another car. Oh, I can get beside him. Well, the problem is you don't clear that one, and the one that you just did clear, that position you just earned, goes right back around you. So what Dale's trying to do, he's trying to say, take the win that you've got. You've now held your position on the restart. Maybe you've gained a spot. Get in the preferred lane, then restart and do another run.
I think he's saying don't be greedy.
Yeah.
Take what you've got, like you mentioned, get back in line and reset, because ultimately you'd like to have a 2-car length gap of the car in front of you. So when you pull to the bottom, you have room to slide up in front of them. If not, we've seen it multiple times tonight. You don't get back up in line, and Dale referenced that bottom line getting thin. Help, right? We know the energy is where the most cars are, and everybody is migrated towards the top of this racetrack as the runs go on.
I think the bottom line is going to have a little more fight to it for the rest of the night, though.
Yeah.
Yes.
What about having Dale Jr. come on your radio?
I was going to say.
I mean, especially for someone like Rajah, grew up watching Dale Earnhardt Jr. Now you've got him on your pit box, and you're getting information from him. Super valuable. I mean, that guy right there was one of the best ever to race on a drafting style racetrack. I got to think if he could have been around to race these tracks, this is where he would have been able to capitalize. I mentioned Daytona. This reminded me of that because of how the pace falls off. Remember Dale one year at Daytona being 12 or 13 seconds ahead, being able to run the top of the track. You're like, well, how is he doing that? It was incredible what he could do on those style racetracks.
I got a note that said he talked to 4 of his 5 drivers on the radio under the red. So, I mean, you talk about full cell commitment. He loves it. Yeah. So the red flag has been lifted, back under caution. Let's check in with Carla.
Yeah, Adam, if you rewind to Sheldon Creed's first career win here earlier this year, he said one of the coolest memories after that race was the fact that so many drivers came to Victory Lane to congratulate him after. He got to FaceTime his wife and his grandpa from Victory Lane, and he said then after that, yeah, I drank beer for 2 days. He wasn't feeling great on Monday, but I was asking him after the celebration, I said, what did you think about your last couple of moves in that race? He said, well, interestingly enough, I would not have made the same choices that I made at the end of that race. He said, I absolutely would have restarted on the front row instead of the second row. And I guess, Adam, that's just a racer for you. They win the race, and yet they still assess their final moves at the end.
Well, we were talking earlier, Carla, how much fun we had with the end of that race. And Jamie, you said it to me earlier today. You're like, I watched it back. I knew who was going to win.
I just didn't know how he did it.
With 2 to go. I'm like, how the heck does he get there?
And I think one thing important, and Denny will agree with me on this style of racing, it's circumstantial. And you can't see what's going to happen a minute from now, which would be 2 laps at this racetrack. It takes circumstances to go your way. And sometimes you have the best car and you make the right move, and the people around you do something that moves you back, and sometimes it works in your favor.
Let's hear from Corey Day. Carla?
That's right. Corey just exited the medical center. Obviously, it kind of seemed like you were in the wrong place at the wrong time. What did you see from your end?
Yeah, top just stacked up there, and unfortunately you're going too fast and don't have good enough brakes to stop in time in a situation like that. So I hate it for Taylor and the 54 guys. I wish I could have stopped in time and not hit him, and ended both of our days. So I hate it for my 17 guys and everyone at HendrickCars.com and Hendrick Motorsports. We had a really fast car to be able to break away like that. It's top 5 there, and that's kind of unseen on super speedways like that. So just hate it.
I tell you what he's talking about is not being able to stop. So on these super speedways, a lot of times you don't press the brake that often. So what happens is those rotors just continue to knock the brake pads back. So you need to give the brake a few pumps every couple of laps just to get them somewhat close back to the rotors. So in an emergency situation, you have the pedal, because what will happen a lot of times, you keep your foot off the brake for an extended period of time, big wreck happens, pedal goes right to the floor.
They call that a courtesy pump.
Yes.
Give that a courtesy pump every couple of straightaways and just make sure it's all up and tight.
Well, you talk about the humbling sport of NASCAR and the euphoria that this team experienced a week ago. Brandon Jones, not just the win, but the way he did it on a restart and going toe-to-toe with a Cup champion Chase Elliott, and now tonight, just daggone, nothing going their way.
That was a very impressive win last week. I mean, to outduel Chase Elliott, and it seems like their mile-and-a-half program with Sam McCauley here as the crew chief, just they've really got it figured out. But I tell you, this week has been the exact opposite.
Yeah, and he's exceptional, though. You think about Kansas, Chicagoland, very similar racetrack. He's exceptional at those particular type racetracks, and I thought the Joe Gibbs racing cars were really good just as a group last weekend.
He's fallen to 8th in points big when you think about their opportunity to make a run in the chase. And now we get a replay brought to you by Progressive. Save when you bundle motorcycle, RV, and boat insurance. Visit progressive.com. Hot spot tonight. Turns 3 and 4, a whole lot going on over there.
Seen plenty of action right here. Our pole setter, Sam Mayer, saw him get loose. Finally got back on the lead lap. There's Brandon Jones. We talked about him. You see he get loose in almost the exact same place.
I tell you what, Progressive's got 37 million customers, and they gained a few more after this one.
Plenty of claims.
You just slid that right in there.
Good.
I mean, I read the card. Denny doesn't need a card on that.
37 million customers?
Yeah. Yes.
Wow.
Might be some painting overnight here at EchoPark Speedway.
We're going to need some touch-ups, I believe.
You know how I found that out? That my car talked to me a few times. Have y'all seen those
Oh, I've seen it, yes.
Trying to get some sleep, and the car's wanting to talk to me. It's just...
I think we should get a break in.
It's break time.
Back in a moment for a restart here at Atlanta.
Coming up after the race, the high-speed action continues as the best riders and bulls in the world invade Colorado for opening night of the 2026 PBR Team Series season. Austin Dillon's Carolina Cowboys begin their title defense, knowing that there are 9 other teams who have their sights set on taking what the Cowboys have. PBR teams, opening night, coming up next, only on the CW.
Austin Dillon hoping to continue the momentum. Outstanding in Cup qualifying earlier today here at EchoPark Speedway. So let's reset this thing. Final stage, going to be inside of 50 laps to go when we get the reset. A lot of success tonight for Junior Motorsports, but it's Sheldon Creed who won here in February that's in charge as we get set for what could be the final run of the night. We've had some attrition, we've lost some good cars, but some outstanding stories when you look at the top 10.
Interesting, we've seen that second place car actually take the outside, the top on the outside. But Raja, he likes the bottom. I know Dale talked about him trying to get back in line, but the 88 car has been really good around the bottom of this track.
Well, this portion of the race, any line can win. It's just going to be a matter of who gets the push.
Raja's got his teammate behind him in that low lane. Brent Cruz pushing Sheldon Creed outside. Problems back of the pack.
These guys are all able to get it all.
Oh, it's Sam Mayer, and he just got back on the lead lap. I think he just knocked the oil cooler out.
When you think about Sam, not a ton of breathing room back there 10th on the chase leaderboard.
Oh, you see Raja. Oh, yeah, the 41 heavy damage right there. Hard to tell if that's tire smoke or if that's oil. Hopefully it's just tire smoke. He can get to pit road.
Just the way the damage looks. I'd get him to pit road.
Oh, yeah, he's going to have a hard time seeing anyway. Just get off the track. Raja fighting hard, though.
By himself
on
in that
the
inside
right side of the screen, yeah.
Major statement by the 88 of Raja Caruth, not going away.
Oh, what a bounce.
Jeremy Clements.
Jeremy Clements almost saved it.
And there's the caution. I thought we might stay green.
He did save it.
Yeah. 7th yellow of the night as the Wheeling caution lights pop on again with just over 40 to go.
Raja's fighting hard on the bottom. 88 car is super fast.
Well, that's Denny's pick, you know.
Yeah, right. I mean, you guys were trying to wait to a green-white checker to make your picks. I mean, come on.
Get a look at Sam Mayer at the back of your screen. You see that lane just checks up, and he had a little bit of momentum. It's so frustrating.
Yeah, when you're starting that far back, though, there's no hurry. I mean, honestly, you could be 3 car lengths back, and you're going to be on the guy in front of you's front bumper by the time you get to turn 1. It's just the way the draft works. So, yeah, it's just back there. You just need to give yourself a little more room. Here we see a little contact.
Maybe from Anthony Alfredo. I couldn't tell.
Yeah.
Saw Jeremy move down.
Clements was 12th, so in a really good shot to jump up there inside the top 10. But hey, you save it, keep it off the wall, got a set of tires.
Sam Mayer to the garage.
I gotta tell you, that's big. He's now, I said he was 10th in points. He's now dropped to 11th, and his advantage over the cut line inside of 30.
I don't think the tires for Jeremy Clements are going to be a huge advantage. We did see in February, Corey Day went to the back, but there was a lot more laps on the leader's tires. Let's hear what Sam Mayer said after that accident.
I mean, what the He missed a shift or just not go? We were going. He must have missed the shift or something. I mean, what the flying...
Well, I think when Sam goes back and looks at this, it looked to me like it was a couple of cars in front of the car in front of him that they started stacking up, and he just happened to be at the point that there was contact made, because really no one else hit anyone in that instance. Did see, I think it was Mason Maggio maybe got spit out after contact from Sam Mayer. I think they just all kind of checked up in front of him, and his timing was off there.
Taylor Gray only 10 above the cut line. He's out of the care center, Carla.
That's right, here with him now, part of that caution with Corey Day. What's the disappointment level like right now, knowing that your night ended that way?
Yeah, I mean, obviously super disappointing, right? I feel like we struggled all day long trying to get the balance right. We were super loose all day long, and felt like right before we got involved there, we'd actually gotten to a point where we were going to be okay and be able to fight for a top 10, I felt like. But yeah, I mean, I can't thank everyone at Jacobs Racing, Toyota Racing, Operation Air and Experiment. We're fighters, man, right? We fought all day long to get the car better, and finally got to a spot where I felt like we were going to be okay and be able to fight there at the end. I don't know about for a win, but for a top 10 and you know, get an okay points day, and unfortunately that's not our reality. So yeah, I mean, just got to take this off week here and focus forward hard on Indy, and yeah.
You mentioned points, knowing where you are in the standings. What's the concern level like knowing you've got 3 to go?
Yeah, well, I'm the biggest Sheldon Creed fan on the planet right now. I hope he goes and wins another one here. Yeah, I mean, it's tough, but at the end of the day, I know that we have to go and execute and win races, right? And that comes with a lot of points. So we have some good tracks coming up for us. So yeah, just got to focus hard on the upcoming races here and put this one behind us.
Iowa, Indy, and Daytona to end it in the regular season, and Taylor Gray's got a lot of work to do if he's going to qualify for the chase.
I tell you, I think this was just to cap off a bad weekend for Taylor, because I saw he took a spinnerbait hook to the ankle.
Oh,
he got hooked. I saw. Yeah, he was walking around. He had the bait hung off his ankle. I was like, ouch.
Let's go back and watch Jeremy Clements. Went for the ride that brought out our 7th caution.
Definitely looks like a little bit of contact from the 96 behind him, but what you can't tell as we look at that is, did Jeremy have to check up for William Swallich that was right in front of him? It's hard to tell from, maybe not. Wouldn't think that Anthony Alfredo, though, you wouldn't be trying to push at that point because you're really vulnerable. So I have to think that Jeremy had checked up just a little bit, and Alfredo wasn't quite ready for that.
Man, look at all those fireworks smoke.
I sense sarcasm.
Tell you what, we're going to run out of oil dry at the rate we're going here. I don't feel like we've been racing in about 25 minutes from all the oil that's been put down on the racetrack.
Had some lengthy cautions tonight. Also threw in a red flag. Hopefully we can find our rhythm when we return. Going to be inside of 40 laps to go when we get the restart on CW. Field is paused here as we put down some speedy dry and blow it off, trying to get the track all cleaned up. So we get our 2nd red flag of the evening. It's been something. You know, when you go racing in the draft, the reality is you can have this. And probably the most scary thing to me when you analyze where we're at in this race and the rhythm, you know, we haven't had that big one. Just a lot of little incidents here and there that have collected drivers, and now we're going to be bunched up, and you know the aggression level is going to be on high.
Well, and our last 2 red flags weren't from wrecks, right?
That's
I mean,
right,
it was just guys laying oil down, and it's just, you know, it takes a while to get that cleaned up. Sam Mayer ran around there for a little bit over a lap, and the amount of oil that was leaked out, you got to have the track clean. They do a great job doing it, but it takes some time to do it.
What about Jake Finch, 11th in his 2nd career start, Dylan?
Yeah, I just want to give an attaboy to Jake. and the 9 team. Spoke with he and crew chief Philip Bell earlier, and had modest goals for start number 2. Certainly, they just wanted to finish this race. Knew what kind of calamity could ensue here, as it usually does at Atlanta. But just wanted to point out all the things that he's really kind of experiencing, as new things as part of racing in the O'Reilly Auto Parts Series. Pit road is one of them. The feeling of side drafting, feeling the run build, taking the runs. All of those things were things that were on Jake's radar, of things he just needed to learn and wanted to learn here in his first start. And he's done a great job. He's had a quiet night. He's been in and amongst the top 15 all evening long, and now sits 11th. He said a top 15 feels like a reasonable goal, but if I could get a top 10 out of the end of the night, I think that'd be like a win pretty much for me in my second start. So he's on pace to maybe do that here, running 11th right now, and just going to try to finish this off and keep their nose clean the rest of the night. But doing a nice job. His first of 5 starts in this car to finish the year.
Yeah, best running position of the night for Jake Finch. Good to see. Saying what a lot? Scan the QR code to take a short free online hearing test. Let's listen in to Starkey Radio Communications with race leader Sheldon Creed.
Surprised they haven't ran out of that stuff tonight. It's been a struggle for sure. Definitely had a lot of oil that we needed to coagulate, or however you say that. Coagulate. There you go. Still not sure how to spell it.
I don't even know what that means.
What? I want to chime in, but I don't really know where to go with that either.
Jonathan Toney going deep into the vocabulary list. Here's what I would say.
He knows we're talking about him. He just looked and started laughing.
JT's absolutely one of the best. I loved his emotion on the radio when Sheldon won here in the spring. And what is it about that 00 team with funny moments under the red? I rewind to San Diego when he had a visitor on track, which was hilarious.
I think he knew that guy. I feel like.
Yeah.
Oh, there we go. Look, bringing in some backup right here. A whole pickup truck load of, they called that kitty litter, the local short track, oil dry.
Buy stock now. You guys think about dialing up Brent Cruz, 3rd in the running order? And with all these other guys having problems around the cut line, now at plus 32 shown in 10th, Jamie.
Hey, Brent, it's Jamie, Denny, Adam, birthday boy Adam up here in the booth. You got us?
Yeah, happy birthday, Adam. Loud and clear.
Well, we've been watching you. You had a great restart here. We went green a few free restarts ago. You've got yourself in a good position. We've seen, it seems like the top's the preferred lane. Seen a few guys. The 88's been good around the bottom. Where do you feel like you need to be on this restart?
Yeah, I think preferably I would still take front row if the 88 chooses behind the 00, but if I have the choice between inside or the top, I'm definitely going with the 00. I feel like our night's been pretty solid, just looking for a little bit more to find ourselves in the lead here with about 40 to go.
Hey, Brent, Denny here. How you doing?
Good. How are you?
Doing well. Just enjoying this Atlanta race. Can't wait to see how these last 40 turn out. But I got a question for you. It looks like a lot of the Joe Gibbs Racing cars has actually not been handling well throughout the day. Have you noticed a change? I mean, you were in the middle of the pack at one point. Is your car driving better now because of the conditions, maybe the track position? Give us a little bit of insight on that.
Yeah, no, you nailed it perfectly to the T. Obviously, we started off the race in the 90-degree, super hot daylight weather, and now it's pitch black dark, and we've had a lot of cautions here to really cool off the racetrack. So, yeah, I feel like the handlings kind of came to us. We were super loose and tight and kind of all over the place in the beginning, and then as the track temp kind of went down, I feel like the track kind of came to us. So we made our way forward kind of all race, pitted early, and now we found ourselves racing for the lead.
All right, man. Well, good luck. It's been fun to watch. Got plenty of action still to go, so good luck the rest of the race, bud.
Thank you. What do I need to do better, guys? You guys got the most insight up there.
Well, listen, we've been watching, and I thought you had a tremendous restart here. It's what seems like 30 minutes ago, but you made up a lot of ground on the bottom and then were able to get in line. I think, to me, you got to get in that outside lane right along until you can get that gap in front of you. But listen, you're an exceptional driver. You don't need any help from us up here. You're doing a great job.
Thank you, guys. That's what I like to hear. All right, back to it.
All right, yeah, we're yellow again. I
wasn't here for advice,
like
okay? Like, I don't know what's he doing.
I like that. The guy's asking questions. He wants to learn. That's a great driver.
I just think about how much you guys bring to the table with all your success over the years in the draft. And I mean, it's my birthday, so I offer a lot of momentum to the situation.
You
so
do?
really,
Yeah.
I mean,
I thought it was nice he took the time to wish you happy birthday.
yeah, it was kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he's 8.
There it is. Look at that.
Yeah. I gotta tell you, this is one for the books. Carla.
That's right, Adam. Here with pole sitter Sam Mayer. Not the way you wanted your night to end. We heard the team radio, the frustration communicated there. Where does the majority of that stem from tonight?
Yeah, I mean, just I haven't had a clean Atlanta race, and I don't even know how long. This place is so much fun, and the cars have been fast that I've been driving, and I just haven't gotten the chance to show it. And I don't know, it just makes me feel bad, to be honest with you. But yeah, I don't know what we're doing. I don't know if he missed a gear or what, but just unfortunate, unnecessary, and I was really looking forward to going out there. We were finally on the lead lap again. I haven't spent a lot of time on the lead lap here this year, and I was looking to try to get another top 10 out of it, but just unfortunate. These Haas factory boys, they work way too hard for that to happen, and yeah, just unfortunate being in that area just is not what you want. So move on to, I think we're at Indy next, and we got the pole there last year, so hopefully we'll be pretty solid there.
Thanks, Kim.
Well, Carla, Jesse Love runs in the 10th position. We know Jesse's a very cerebral driver. He puts a lot of thought into his race moves and pretty much everything. We still have 39 laps to go, and here was the conversation about the end of the race and what could happen.
I'm just like having freaking nightmares thinking about like at the end of this deal if I'm running second like a JRM car and then third place is a JRM car, like what am I going to do to be able to...
Our best opportunity in that situation is to let the JRM cars do what they normally do and screw each other over at the end. They've been good teammates all race so far. They usually are not at the end, so...
Well, I mean, that is a strategy. Certainly is a strategy. But, I mean, realistically, if you're second and you're Jesse Love, right, you still have to do all the right things. Sometimes you can get caught up too much in over-analyzing, well, who's around me, things like that. When we had our most success on super speedways, and Dale Jr. would say this as well, is that it was before all the alliances with teams and manufacturers and things like that, because we would always just take advantage of everyone eventually being selfish. And that's what's happened really to the JRM Motorsports guys at the end of these races, that they all get selfish, and then next thing you know, they're fighting each other instead of going for the win. So it's just a tough spot. I think if he's P2, what I'm telling him, just do the right things. Get your gap to first, back up to third. If the guy chooses to pull out of line, so be it. But you're doing the right things to get the run on the leader.
Yeah, it comes down to what we said earlier. It's circumstances, right? You got to hope those circumstances work out in your favor.
The choose and the restart when we come back to Atlanta. hit the final stage here at EchoPark Speedway in Hampton, Georgia. A lot of shuffle has gone on, seen the caution a lot here, and now we're ready for this restart. How about this outside lane? Sheldon Creed, no surprise there. Raja Caruth lined up behind him, and down to the inside, Brent Cruz.
Nothing to leave on the table no more. It's time.
Austin Hill, 5th place guy, going to be 2nd row inside. Watch him.
Yeah, 5th prior to the choose, said give me row 2 inside lane. Won here 5 times. 36 laps to go at Atlanta.
Good to push.
That outside row much more connected than the inside. Austin Hill was not able to get to Brent Cruz's bumper. Look at Raja giving a big love to Sheldon Creed. Oh, a little block right there from Quapple.
Nick Sanchez trying to make something happen in that outside lane, going in the wrong direction.
Yeah, Jake Finch, who talked about earlier. Look at him in the outside lane, all those Junior Motorsports cars lined up.
Jesse Love making it happen down low.
Yeah, Brent Cruz is trapped on the bottom right now. You know, Dale Jr. talked about that with Raja Caruth under one of those red flags. Oh, and Brent Cruz gets put 3 wide by Sammy Smith now.
Yeah, Sammy diving down to the inside. Got Austin Hill right behind him. Raja Caruth going outside of Creed. He's got his teammate behind him. They're darting around.
Oh, Sammy Smith gonna make it 3 wide. Is there gonna be contact?
The Junior Motorsports Chevys going after Sheldon Creed. They're high, they're low. The 8 trying to make it happen. It's the 88 flashing outside. Big move, Raja Caruth in the lead.
On that inside row is gonna drag Sheldon Creed back a little bit right here. 88 in the 1. Allgaier, 3 Junior Motorsports cars. All 4 Junior Motorsports cars in the top 4. Sammy Smith would love to get back in line, but I think that Sanchez is going to fill that gap.
I mean, how about Sanchez mixing it up with those 4 from Junior Motorsports?
Junior Motorsports really wrapping the top.
Justin Allgaier got a little bit out of shape, a little loose there, so cars are still on edge.
Well, that 87 team has been great in the last month with what Austin Green did out west on the road courses. Sanchez top 12 last week at Chicagoland and very much in the game tonight.
Well, and something I want to point out as you look at Raja Caruth, Carson Quapple, all those cars, I see a lot of Hendrick Motorsports engines. I know a lot of Junior Motorsports teams, but also HFT lined up in the outside. Those guys have really closed the gap on RCR and Austin Hill, Jesse Love. Gosh, it's hard to outrun all of them when they're all that quick.
Brent Cruz, Sheldon Creed have really faded here on this restart.
Yeah, look at Jesse Love there. He's going to try to put he's going to try to put Jake Finch down to the bottom. He wants to get behind Austin Hill.
Yeah, he's going to get there. Yeah, Jake was cheating down just a little bit on entry and opened that up. Allowed Jesse Love to get to, get to his outside. Now Creed's behind him.
Jake's done a good job going to school, getting better and better all night. But he's learning some lessons here the hard way. 3 Junior Motorsports cars leading and 3 RCR affiliated cars behind him with Sanchez, the 21 and the 2 of Hill and Love. And now we get caution number 8.
Man, we finally gotten a little bit of a rhythm right there. I'll tell you who needed that caution was the 8 of Sammy Smith. He got stuck on the bottom. They got lined up on the top, and he could not find a gap to get back in line, and it was a slow death that he had going on right there. So this will let him regroup, kind of get back where he needs to be.
And I'm so curious because we got to do this tomorrow night, is that is the track, has it picked up a lot of grip? I still see a lot of ill-handling cars out there. Now, they're going to stay tighter longer, but I think if this thing goes green,
it's going to spread out a little bit.
I think it's still going to be a little bit of a track position type race.
See Glenn Reen going for the slide coming off of turn 4. It's just so compelling when you get down to the end of these races and you start talking about the choose, especially when you have the teammate dynamic that exists, and that's what we're going to have here. I mean, we've talked about, even if it's not true teammates, the affiliations that exist inside the top 10.
I'm so impressed with Junior Motorsports. It doesn't matter if we go to a road course, 1.5 miles, the drafting tracks. it's not one of their cars. All of their cars run so good consistently every single week.
Well, they've won 12 of the 20 races this year.
And you got to think, too, that this is probably where their team owner is the biggest asset for them, right?
No doubt.
We talked about under the red, he was talking to 4 of the 5 drivers. Is that right, Adam?
Yeah,
It's like, you know, he knows this type of racing so well. This is old school super speedway type racing where it's not like the next gen where it's really changed complexions over the last few years. This style has been around for a while, and this is the style that Dale Jr. was the best at by a long ways. And so, you know, this is where he can really influence those guys. And it seems like the information he's given them, not just at the racetrack, but more than likely post-race after they made some mistakes, it's starting to show that they're learning from those.
Marty Lindley leading the charge for Raja Karuth, Kim.
Yeah, and let's find out what he wants to see out of his driver, because Raja came on the radio and asked for a balance adjustment. You said, we're not coming back in. So what's your confidence level that he can get it done here, even though he doesn't quite have the car he wants?
Yeah, the Hendrick.com Chevrolet is a lot better than it was. The first 2 stages, we got really tight at the end of it. He was asking for a half a number balance right there, so I believe he'll be good to go. Hopefully we can keep his clean air and he can get his first win.
And what do you like that you've seen out of Raja today? I know before the race we talked about this was going to be a big points day for you guys. He's earned the 3rd most stage points. So what have you liked that you've seen from Raja?
Yeah, he's driving a really smart race so far. He's been really patient. He's listened to his spotter, and you know, if he continues that, it should be good.
Thanks, Marty.
Thanks.
I can't help but think, as we ride on board and can see Raja's eyes there, the nerves are terrible under a caution. He's going for his first win in the O'Reilly Auto Parts Series. The guy behind him, his teammate, Carson Kvapil, same thing. But once you start racing, all those nerves go away and you focus on exactly what you need to do. But when you ride around under caution like this and you just start thinking like, well, what do I need to do on the restart? Yep. You start overthinking everything. He just wants this thing to go back green and let him do what he knows how to do.
And more than likely, I mean, I can only speak for what I'm thinking during these caution flags on super speedways, but I try to just log all how these races played out. What have I learned from that, right? And you know, what mistakes maybe have I made in the past? What lanes have typically won it? What is the right move I need to make? Well, what if the 2nd place guy lays back? What's my move going to be? Do I want him, if he's going to get a run inevitably, do I want him to pass me on the low side or the high side? And so typically on these kind of cars, I would think you would want to let the cars pass low because the right rear is going to be the most vulnerable, especially to side draft. You then can get back on their right rear quarter panel, keep them from clearing. So there's lots of little things and details that these guys are thinking of.
You hear everything Denny said right there, Adam. It's why you're so mentally tired when one of these races is over. These aren't physically demanding races. It is hot tonight. But mentally, when these races are over, because of everything that Denny just said, you're having thousands of thoughts a minute and trying to just put yourself in all these different circumstances, and you're just mentally exhausted when it's over.
Let's hear about the guy that won here a season ago, Nick Sanchez, Carla.
Yeah, y'all were talking about him. Obviously, he got that big win for Big Machine Racing last summer. When he came here in February, though, he got a 3rd place finish with AM Racing. We know that team closed mid-season. Now he's back with Peterson Racing. He credited his win, though, back in July with the fact that his car had that RCR affiliate. He said the handling of that car was so good, I literally could have driven it with one hand. But he said, even if I don't have that kind of handling, I'm just really comfortable at this track. He's very aware he's never finished outside the top 5, no matter what series it's been in, even the truck series, no matter what team, what car, certainly leaning on that confidence tonight.
Yeah, and he's not afraid. And I would say, too, when you're not racing for points, it really opens the door for you to go out and make it happen. A year ago, he was very much racing for points, trying to make his way into the playoffs, and he locked up a spot a season ago when it was win and you're in. Jamie, you and I did that race, and if you remember, we didn't get tons of rain. We had those long lightning holds. We were here late into the night, and Sanchez able to persevere and get that first career victory.
Well, Sanchez's strength is how aggressive he is, and that plays into a track like this where you take all of those runs. And you know, we talk about Austin Hill, how good he is at a track like this. Sanchez is in that same category. It doesn't matter what he races in this type of tracks. He seems to find himself in a good position when it counts.
Well, I tell you, if he's never finished outside the top 5, that's not by chance.
Yeah, that's not luck.
No, he has got a skill set that is obviously excelling here at this track.
Also won in the draft at Daytona in the Craftsman Truck Series a handful of years ago.
Look at those two RCR cars lined up on the bottom. See if they can do anything with Junior Motorsports right here.
JRM front row, control car outside lane. Raja Karu, 26 remaining.
Austin Hill does a way better job on this restart. Was able to get right to the back bumper of Justin Allgaier. Almost pushed him out in front of Raja right there. Oh, Justin is just barely clear. What's he decide to do, though? Does he go up in front of his teammate or stay on the bottom?
Big rally outside lane. Carson Quapple shoving Raja Caruth, the young guys outside of the old guys for the lead at Atlanta.
Look at Justin. A little shorter distance around the bottom. See how long can they run side by side? Denny's referenced numerous times tonight.
Jesse Love darting to the outside lane.
Not clear. Wow. Sammy Smith making it 3 wide on Sanchez. You see Finch is going to fill that gap. 3 wide is going to be hard, 2 rows deep.
Sheldon Creed kind of back in it down there, bottom lane, regaining some momentum. Drafting help from Brent Cruz. And the Viking teammates there, Bright Orange 96, Anthony Alfredo, look out, Jake Finch, into the wall, hangs on to it. And for now, we are green. There is yellow flag number 9.
I was 2 seconds away from telling you, Jake is about to experience some aero situations he's not prepared for, and I swear he just got loose in that moment. Wow.
Pretty heavy contact right there for the 9. Saw him push one of his teammates, Sammy Smith, kind of through that pack.
Knocked out.
Oh yeah, you got all kinds of stuff knocked out right now. Look at the damage to the back of that car.
Running inside the top 10, just...
Yeah, doing a great job.
This 9 teams had a lot of success in 2026 when you think about Shane Van Gisbergen on the road at both Sonoma and what he was able to do at Circuit of the Americas. Ross Chastain won on the 1.5 mile at Charlotte. A lot less experience behind the wheel tonight with Jake Finch. Well, watch this move. Jesse Love low to high.
Man,
he had a little kiss.
Wow. He moved so fast to the outside. He actually ended up getting into the outside wall, lost his momentum. That lets Sammy Smith get back to his inside.
And this actually turns out to be the worst case scenario for the 9, because now the 9 is in the middle of the racetrack where he gets loose.
Wow, I said a kiss. I stand corrected.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have wanted to have been standing out there, but he did not hit the wall.
See, these are the things that is going to be really tough for Jake, because while he got some experience the first 2 stages, it wasn't in 3 wide situations. The field was strung out. Now that, I mean, this is probably the worst. Your left
outside,
front,
inside,
your
behind.
left front fender right on someone's right rear makes you vulnerable anyway. That's an aerodynamic loose situation. And with these cars, you put someone now on the outside of you, there's just no air going on that race car, and that's why he got loose.
Yeah, she almost had that thing caught. It hooked. Retzloff got so lucky that he was able to miss that. Watch him slide up right in front of Parker Retzloff. This car's going to catch. Tries to counter steer. You see his hands in there working. Parker does a nice job avoiding that.
Yeah, here's the other thing. Use the scoring loops here to determine running order. So the caution comes out, and I mean, there were a lot of close battles. And the significance of that, when you start thinking about where am I in line and where am I going to get to choose, I mean, the residual impact of this style of racing and a caution coming out is challenging.
Yeah, look at that guy in 3rd right now.
Yeah.
It's been a slow climb, and you know, he's won 5 races here, but he hasn't always had the best car when he won. But again, he's just having one of those nights where he's just methodically, he's done a nice job on these restarts, getting himself in the right position, and now he's going to either line up on the front row or on the 2nd row side, and that's a great position for the 21 car to be in.
How about the fact we're going to get a restart here inside of 20 laps to go? RCR has not led a lap in this race
shocking
tonight. It really is, Carla.
And we know every driver has their own tradition when they win, but this one is really special. Austin Hill sharing with us earlier this season that his family puts a checkered flag at his grandpa's gravestone to commemorate every win. This one that we're going to show you hopefully a picture of was coming from his Daytona win to start the season, but they've been doing this for the past 5 years since his passing. He won one of his first races after his death. Austin said there's been many times on the times when I've been on the track where I just felt like I had a little extra help out there, and credits his grandpa as one of the influential forces to start his racing career. Of course, I'd love to be able to add another one tonight.
I go back to that win at San Diego, and what an emotional time it was for everyone at Richard Childress Racing, because it was the team's first victory since we lost Kyle Busch. And when you come to this place, you just anticipate the 21 is going to be a part of the equation. Had those mechanical issues early, lost all the track position. He rallies back, gets involved in that crash at the end of the stage. But you never count him out. And here, very much in the game as we hit 20 laps to go.
I tell you, even if he doesn't have the strongest car, there'd be no other driver I'd pick in the field.
I agree.
Drive my car at the end of the super speed. Austin Hill. I mean, yes, the RCR cars for a while here, they had the fastest cars and they dominated. But his skill set still allowed him to do things that just made him a little bit better than everyone else, which is going up against some of these young guys like Raja. I mean, Justin's, of course, got some experience, but just this is where you're going to see his experience really come into play. And I believe he can win a race when he doesn't have the fastest car.
He's done that here a couple of times. Like, I know RCR's led all these laps, but there's a couple of those wins that he just did the right move at the right time. And I think a great example is we saw earlier in the race when Jesse Love was trying to get the outside working. Austin Hill's like, I don't want to be out there. I want to be in the middle here, and he was able to fill that gap. You see where he's running right now.
You know, we kind of put an asterisk on the stat line when you look at the history of this place because of the repave, the reconfiguration, and now we do things in the draft. But if you look at winners all time at Atlanta in the O'Reilly Auto Parts Series, Austin Hill, Kevin Harvick tied with 5 apiece. So Austin Hill could become the all-time wins leader if he's able to get back to victory lane here tonight. Now let's go back and ride with his teammate Jesse Love on board when he made that incredible run.
Well, it didn't look like he hit the wall, but it
sounded like it.
Like he had just a little bit of a kiss there, yeah. He knew how important it was to get back up with the momentum that outside line has.
Been impressive this year in the draft. Only driver, as you see on the graphic, to finish top 10 in those first 3 drafting races, Daytona here at Atlanta and Talladega in April.
Even though I had to make my pick before the race started today, as I look, Denny's pick's on the outside of the front row, and my pick now is going to be on the inside.
Who's your pick?
Row. Austin Hill.
Oh, you picked him at the beginning?
Yeah, well, that's when you do picks.
4 hours ago, right?
Yeah.
Oh, all right. So Allgaier going to start behind his teammate, Sanchez behind him.
Yeah, it was like picking you last week. Yeah, really went out on a limb.
Going to be 19 laps remaining. We'll see if we can find a little bit of a rhythm here. Be a really fun run to the checkers. Driver looking for his first career victory, controlling this race. Outside of a guy that's won here 5 times, Carruth and Hill.
You got to wonder if that damage on the front of the 21 will hinder him any when he's out in clean air. And look at the restart that inside row gets. They don't want to give Austin Hill control of this race because his management of leading these races is incredible. And Denny mentioned it, the best at it. Oh, you see Carson tries to get to his outside. Hill does an awesome job sliding up in front of him.
Austin Hill in charge. Here comes Raja Carruth down low.
And also what makes him so dangerous out front is his spotter, Derek Nealon. I think he's one of the best at this. And just the rapport they have with each other. They trust each other. Just like you saw down the back straightaway. They're not afraid to clear him when he's 6 inches clear.
Well, and I was getting ready to say, got a caution?
Yeah, that's the 10th caution of the night. Things got away from Jake Finch on the restart.
Yeah, when you get damage to that right rear, you usually are going to be part of another wreck because it doesn't have the grip that it had before.
Yeah, look at the spoiler. It's gone.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I go back to what I said earlier, but, running order here based on where everyone was in relation to the scoring loop when the caution came out, because the one was right there with Austin Hill.
I didn't think they would be able to pass Austin Hill that easy. Carson Kvapil gave him one straightaway and was able to get back to his inside. That makes me nervous for my pick now.
Now Raja will not be on the front row. He's been on the front row for the last at least 3 or 4 restarts. Yeah.
Austin Hill is going to be scored as the race leader. NASCAR confirmed that based on the scoring loops.
Got a flat tire on the left rear of Jake Finch's car there.
I think he's got more problems than that.
He does. That's the least of his problems right now.
We'll get a break and the restart when we come back. Been a slow go in the final stage for the O'Reilly Auto Parts Series here at EchoPark Speedway. And we'll have the restart when we return. For those of you joining us for the season debut of PBR Team Series Bull Riding, we'll get you to Fort Collins, Colorado for live action as soon as we wrap things up here at EchoPark Speedway with the O'Reilly Auto Parts Series. Been a crazy final stage, but here we are at Atlanta, and once again, Austin Hill, the race leader, Dylan.
Yeah, that's right, and they have had a little bit of an unconventional path to get there today after some damage early. Okay, you and I talked this afternoon. You said the way you guys have won these races in the past, it's not going to work. By being up front, controlling the race, everybody else has closed the gap. You're at the front. How do you win it now?
Yeah, I think we just got to keep him out front now. That's been our goal all day, is to try to get him up there. You know, we had so much issues there early, and we was able to rebound from those. So we're going to let Austin and Derek do their thing out there right now and try to bring this thing home for us.
And we also talked about how good those two are together. What have you been most impressed with them tonight with all you've overcome?
Yeah, I mean, with everything that happened, I mean, Austin's kept his spirits up, and Derek's been doing a really good job of working on that too. So yeah, I feel really good. I mean, we'll see how this closes out here. It's been a heck of a day for sure.
Yeah, they're in a good spot. Thanks, Chad. Let's get some 21 team radio and hear how they're hashing it out here as we get ready to go back green.
Yeah, that was one of those risk versus reward moments with those white flag. I was going full left, but he had a pretty good head of steam.
Like I say, you had it plenty, I promise. I wasn't going to wreck you on that one. Yeah, I almost shed a tear there. I thought you were starting to lose faith in me.
Wow, that's great conversation, and we talked about the relationship that he has with his spotter, and so what they're saying there is that Derek Nealon, the spotter, was clearing him down in front of Carson Kvapil, and And one of the reasons Austin Hill is so good at this type racing is because he knows when to take a chance and when not to.
Right.
He didn't feel like that was the moment to take a chance and get wrecked with 15 laps to go. It's going to live to race to the end of this thing right now. However, if it's the last lap, it's a different Austin Hill block that we see there.
I always feel like at these races, no one block has to be made unless it's on the final corner of the final lap. Live to run another lap.
Totally.
There's always another opportunity. Like, where's the, how far back are you really going to go?
Right.
You know what I mean? If you
especially if they're passing you on the inside.
Right.
If you let him get to your outside, I think it's different. But letting him get to the inside with what we've seen
got
today,
help coming.
Maybe you're losing 1 or 2 spots right there.
Carson Kvapil goes outside with Austin Hill for the restart. And you think about the day that they put together. His average running position in this race, 13th. It speaks to where they've been throughout the night. I mean, you go back there, you race to the front, and then just when it looks like you're gaining ground into the stage, boom, you get damaged, you got to go back again, repair the issues. Last restart, gets a shove, gets the lead, and was in the right place when the caution came out in relation to the scoring loops to be in control. Takes the outside lane. And look at this front row. Allgaier and Hill, when you think about the last 5 years in the O'Reilly Auto Parts Series,
yep,
this has been the duo that's gotten it done the most.
And the 2 guys lined up behind them going for their first win in the O'Reilly Auto Parts Series. So got a little bit of everything at the front of the pack tonight.
Chevrolet has won the last 11 in the draft. Try to make it 12. And a lot of them up there to go get it done. 13 to go now at Atlanta.
Pretty even as they head down into turn 1. Justin cheating up just a little bit.
One thing I'm seeing consistently, the bottom line gets clear.
Launches a little better.
Into turn 1, just about every time whoever's been on the bottom is clear.
Big decision right here for Allgaier. Oh, there he goes. Great. Oh, Austin Hill tried to force it. It's going to get stuck in the middle now, though, as you see Kvapil going to the outside.
I don't think this is a big deal for Hill.
Look at his teammate.
Yeah,
going to come up and help him right here.
Oh, my gosh, 4 wide, I thought, for a second.
Oh, that's actually not a bad thing for the 88 to get in front of Austin Hill right there. Maybe get that middle lane going. I think Sammy Smith's in a tough position now.
Oh, there's a crash. Brent Cruz around. Sheldon Creed, the spring winner. Jesse Love, the reigning champ. Jordan Anderson, Dean Thompson. 11th caution of the evening.
Narrow track, 4 wide. Not a lot of room for error.
No. It's just a matter of time.
Most all those guys were top 10 for the restart and felt like they had a chance to rally. And now their hopes are dashed. Heavy damage and a slow ride back to the pit lane and likely the garage.
Have to get another look at that and see. I know they got 4 wide, but did someone move up? Did someone come down?
Nick Light's got a piece of that in the 42.
Sorry, guys. I thought I had room down there. Sorry about that. My fault.
Jordan Anderson radio. Doesn't make a lot of starts. Really good in the season opener at Daytona and has always been really good in the draft. And when you think about the foundation of success for Jordan Anderson racing, it's been at these style of tracks. And Brent Cruz, you know, limping around, comes to a stop, only plus 11 over that chase cut line, which is huge.
Heard comments from Jordan Anderson, who was on the very bottom of this. We don't have him highlighted there. He's in the number 32, apologizing, thinking there was room. See, he makes it 4 wide.
Yeah, and he's the one that made the decision to go 4 wide. If you're 4 wide, I always want to know who was the last guy in.
That's
you know what I mean? Like, that's whose fault it was. Who was the last guy that made that decision? And
it looks like he hits
that
the apron
line
a little
down
bit.
there is out of bounds. I mean, you get below the white and yellow line, you're out of bounds. He wasn't quite there, but that's another thing you got to be thinking about in those situations.
It's not leaving a lot of room for error, and especially when you know that that line is essentially a wall that you cannot cross. It just puts everyone on top, in a really, really tough spot.
Well, because if you're Creed, you're like, well, I haven't left enough room. So I know no one's getting to my inside. And then, you know, Jordan forced the issue just a little bit there. And it almost looked like he hits the apron, and that washes his car up just a little bit. Poor Brent Cruz is just up there along for the ride. Jesse Love.
Now, I mean, in his defense, if he can somehow hold his line and everybody else, you know, holds theirs, he's inside the top 10 there. He's thinking, if I get now, I'm looking at being 7th, 8th, like I can win from there.
Right on board with Jesse Love here. See his perspective.
Yeah.
Nothing he could do. He had a car on his outside, had Creed obviously on his inside.
He was looking for the quickest way out as soon as possible.
Right. He knows he's done. I'm on board with Ryan Ellis here. We have seen a lot of action from this onboard camera tonight. He does a nice job getting slowed down there. Ooh, who's that? Who's that into the outside wall that shot back across? I think it was the 92 car.
Yeah, Leland Honeyman.
What happened? Where did he come from? Oh, you see Leland Honeyman's actually spinning in the middle of this. And does he get hit again right here? Oh, he does. It looks like he had no steering.
Yeah, Brennan Poole.
Man, massive hit right there on the outside wall.
We've had a lot of big cleanups tonight, but Jamie, you said it earlier, most of it's been fluid. I mean, now we're getting it for a bunch of damage, parts and pieces coming off these race cars.
Well, you said there was no big one, so that pretty much did us in.
The kiss of death, right?
It's his birthday. Cut him some break.
That's okay.
I see William Swalich actually got a little piece of this as well. I don't know how much damage he has, but I saw him on the apron. He clipped right at the him and Brandon Jones.
A little bit, not bad.
No.
It's going to be an absolute dogfight. To find out who
fun to watch
gets into the chase, right? And I mean, this is the kind of race we're going to have to decide it at Daytona. But I just think about how much change has happened at that cut line tonight, how snug things are, and what we'll see in that Friday night race at Daytona to determine, that's next month, obviously, to determine who's going to go to Darlington and be a part of the chase.
Frustration right there for Leland Honeyman.
11 cars involved. Yep, I think we can call this the big one, Denny.
Yep.
Tell you what.
Shame for him. He's actually gotten some really good, respectable super speedway finishes, and you know, typically avoids the big one, but obviously got in this one.
Well, there's a lot of those drivers that don't get to drive the fastest equipment week in and week out. And then you look at their resume and you see where they've enjoyed success. And most of the time, you know, 80–90% of their career top 10s are in the draft. And we referenced the fact that drivers involved in this crash that now will produce our third red flag of the night.
Can't help but notice a lot of cars involved in that accident. But when I look at the top 4 running positions, we've talked about it a lot tonight. Junior Motorsports with Allgaier, Carruth, Wapples, Sammy Smith back up there. Austin Hill's back to 5th. The Junior Motorsports just continues to find themselves in the front of this field.
And the tough part about this for Austin Hill is he loses his teammate Jesse Love, right?
Right.
So now the numbers were already stacked against him with all the Junior Motorsports cars, but now it's going to be even tougher.
And his friend will be the guy right behind him,
No
Nick
doubt.
Sanchez. A little bit of an RCR connection right there. We know that car's fast. To me, those two are going to have to work together if they're going to want to outrun the Junior Motorsports
You think
cars.
Sanchez cares?
No, I don't think he does at all. But I thought it was a great story.
Hey, reminder, the season debut of PBR Team Series Bull Riding from Fort Collins, Colorado is currently airing on the CW app. And we join the coverage live in progress when we finish things here at EchoPark Speedway.
Well, I'll tell you what, guys. We've talked about Raja Carruth all night. Let's see what he's thinking here. Hey, Raja, it's Jamie, Denny, Adam up here in the booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir. You guys got me?
Oh, yeah, loud and clear. We've heard the boss man, Dale Jr., on the radio with you, giving you some advice. You're second now. I'm just, you know, we get to this restart. We've seen the guy in second actually choose the outside of the second row a couple of times. We've seen sometimes they take the front. What's your plan here?
I can't feel the
beans. Nah, but it's really dominant on based off of the leader, right? Like who fires first, because it's just a matter of staying connected till off of turn 2. So luckily I got a lot of Hendrick horsepower around me, so hope we can all work together and, you know, get a solid finish.
Hey, Raja, this is Denny. Just so you know, you are my race pick at the beginning of the 3rd stage. I'd seen enough, I'd seen enough to see that you got a really strong car. You're handling it well. Definitely it looks like your approach is different this time around versus the first race here. Looks like you're being a little bit more patient. That's allowed you to keep your track position. What do you think is going to be the key? Let's say we have a green-white checkered. Do you want to restart on the bottom or the top?
Well, DH, I watched a lot of you growing up, you know, you and Lambert working up top, and I don't know, I think I'm just trying to think about what puts myself in the best position, right? Like, if I take a run, having a plan of where I'll end up, and, you know, I spent a lot of years iRacing, right, and we fortunately get to do a lot of plate racing on there, and been through a lot of these scenarios. So, like you mentioned, this HendrickCars.com Chevrolet is super fast, and huge thanks to everybody at Jarrett Motorsports for, you know, this fast car, and Mr. H and Miss Linda back at home, but just trying to put myself in the best spot to be there at the end, and obviously covering the right side is the biggest thing, but also, right, like you can cut the distance, right, as long as you stay connected. So depends what we shake up like.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, you've been making great moves, and I think that you got the right plan there. As my pick, my advice to you is no one block has to be made until the final corner of the final lap. So as long as you keep yourself in it, race to run another lap, you're going to have a shot. I think your game plan of if you're going to take the bottom, know you've got a place to merge back up high. Don't get pinned 3 wide bottom. You don't really want to be there. I think you got it all figured out.
Yeah, thanks, man. Hope I get invited back to the Hoop Group. I can give y'all boys some buckets.
I'll tell you what, I'll put a good word in for you, all right? Good luck tonight, buddy.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
I can tell you, we don't need McMurray in the Hoop Group. I can promise you that.
He said something really interesting there, and I feel like it's a great time to talk about it. He mentioned Hendrick horsepower, and we praised ECR and RCR for years here. I mean, they would out-qualify everybody by a half second, both those cars. It was incredible to see how fast they were every single week, but Hendrick has done an exceptional job at closing that gap, and as you look at the running order right now, the top 4 being Hendrick-powered cars, Jeremy Clements being another one that has Hendrick horsepower. It's hard to deny at tracks like this that horsepower doesn't rule everything, right? I mean, we know handling's important, but, man, if it handles under the hood, that's the most important thing you can have.
Well, I'm a big Raja fan. You know, he went to college and got his degree, so he's been balancing his race car career with his education. And he's getting all this advice from Denny on the radio. And just before we did the interview, Dale Jr. weighed in. Let's listen to that.
Yeah, I remember me and you talking about how you got to tighten up your decisions at this point. It's time to be tight, smart.
Yes, sir.
You got your teammates all around you. The 21 and 87 are probably the 2 best cars available. If you work with your teammates, try to do the best you can there, I think we can beat them. If we race the shit out of each other, we're going to just let them guys go right by.
Well, what Dale's referencing there is that historically, Junior Motorsports is in the front of these at the end a lot. And historically, they haven't made the best decisions as an organization. But it's hard, right? And the reason that's hard in this series is because as we look at, you know, both Carson Kvapil and Raja, they're going for their first win. You're selfish, right? You want to prove that you're better than that guy. And it's hard in the moment to realize the big picture. If you're the 7-car of Allgaier and you've won a couple of championships and 30-plus races, it's a different decision. But at this level, it's difficult because you want to do what's right for you, and you don't really care about everybody else.
What do you have, Kim?
Well, if you just take a look at crew chief Andrew Overstreet of the 7-car, it looks like the future's bright for Justin Allgaier. I would say that, too. He's P1 on the board, but you told Adam and I earlier today your goal today was to keep your driver calm. How do you think you've done?
I mean, it's hot, so everybody's a little bit testy, and these restarts are crazy. But Justin's a veteran, and he's had a really good car all day. It's great to get the Jarrett car up front and be leading laps, and hopefully he can hold on and just keep pulling ahead in this championship.
All right, 4 JRM cars in the top 4. At what point, right now we're 10 to go, does it become every driver for themselves?
I mean, Dale wants us all to work together, but And everybody back in Mooresville wants to see 4 cars at the front. So let's hope we can get it 1, 2, 3, 4, and just the best man win.
All right, blinded by the light down here.
But you know what, though? Allgaier, 33 wins in his career at 21 tracks. One of them here in Atlanta, but that was before we went to the draft format, so he could get his second career win in the draft here tonight. He's also won at Daytona. Let's get 7 radio.
All right, both of y'all look really good at the front tires. I don't know if it's just because it cooled down or what, but I don't feel great about something here.
You got something trapped on the slitter. I don't know what it is. It just went under the car.
Well, what he's referencing is probably a little bit of a vibration or something that he can feel, and you don't know if it's the tires, but the air, if you get something on that splitter, can create a vibration, especially if it comes loose or something and it starts flapping in the wind, similar to like the harmonics that you would feel in like the rear windows. If you're rolling down your car, your kid rolls the windows down, you're like, roll them up because it starts, you know, buffeting the air.
Yeah, any kind of debris that you get on the front of the car that actually wraps over the front and then
was
to
good, buddy. You jumped right in front of their ass when you needed to.
Man, Dale's on it with all these fellas. Any kind of debris that you have on the front that wraps over the front of the splitter and actually goes underneath, yeah, it can create a fluttering type of feel. I'm wondering if it's that, or, I mean, we've run so many caution laps. Do you think the track's pretty clean at this point? I doubt it's any kind of rubber buildup, so more than likely it was that debris that Dale kind of saw. That looks like it's gone.
I think he's okay now.
You look at the top 10, half the drivers prior to the choose have never been to victory lane in the O'Reilly Auto Parts Series. And we go back, watching Allgaier here. Yeah, something, a little debris flying off.
Like part of a fender or something.
I mean, we just
like
had 11 car pile up.
Yeah,
That's true. There's
there
no
you go.
telling.
You're going to
plenty
have
of debris out there.
All right, we're going to do the choose with 8 laps to go. We'll get the restart with 7 laps remaining. After tonight, a weekend off before the O'Reilly Auto Parts Series heads to Indianapolis in 2 weeks' time. You want to go into the break with some momentum, no doubt. Nice to have an extra week to celebrate. And here we are coming to the choose.
Ooh, surprise. There you go. Taking the bottom.
That?
We talked about bottom accelerating a little bit better on most of these restarts.
And I feel like there's something to, now this is a standard 1.5 miles in length. I know it's a super speedway, but there's something about 1.5 miles that starting on the inside line, it just seems like your car hooks up a little bit better down the front straightaway. And we'll see if the trend continues where the 7 is going to get clear like all the rest of the bottom cars have on all these restarts.
Look at some of those drivers top 10. Clemens is up there, Anthony Alfredo, Brennan Poole, been dinged up a little bit tonight. Ryan Sieg, a Georgia guy who's never won. He's been close at this place for sure. A couple of guys in the front 2 rows that have not experienced victory. Carson Kvapil on the front row with Justin Allgaier, and we've talked so much about Raja Caruth, who goes from the inside of row 2 next to teammate Sammy Smith. Look at the career victories for those drivers restarting that were top 5 prior to the choose. Just incredible.
Well, what do you guys think? Last restart or not? I say not.
I'm going to say no.
It's not. This is going to come down to the 3rd car. Pay attention to the 87 and the 21. Whoever's going to get clear is going to be, it's going to be the 3rd car's responsibility that gets their line going.
Allgaier in charge, 7 to go.
Well, they're all organized really well right there, but look at Sammy Smith all over the back. Oh, Raja moves up just a little bit as he's giving that 7 the push he needs.
Yeah, so look at Austin Hill. He's the 3rd car. Now the top lane's going to go because the 87 was laid back on the 88 there.
Oh, Sammy makes a move to the inside.
8 drives to the inside of his teammate. Sammy Smith winless this year, but he has won in the draft. Quapple not going away outside. 6 laps to go this time around.
Raja, the big loser on that restart, you see fell back to 5th. Did a nice job getting back up into the outside line. I love Sammy Smith going for it.
Justin Allgaier got an issue?
Man, we talked about the
Looked like it,
potential
but-
problems prior to the restart. 7 is fading. Problems for the 19 of Brent Cruz, who was involved in the earlier accident. Going to be 5 to go this time. Austin Hill is right there. So is Raja Caruth. Is the top 2 go at it side by side, Quapple and Smith.
And Austin Hill is going to have to protect his outside. The 88's been really looking hard, trying to get to that right rear quarter. Quapple does a great job of defending on the blue and white 21 right there. Tell you, if Austin Hill runs high like that again, the 88 will be to his inside. Leave yourself so vulnerable. Sanchez now hung on the bottom. Ooh, just a little kiss, not bad, not bad.
Sammy Smith just made a move on Quapple. I was surprised he didn't stay behind him there.
Look at this.
This is what Dale did not want to see.
Austin Hill making it 3 wide down low. Here comes the veteran from Winston, Georgia, 3 wide for the lead.
Jeremy
Quapple,
Clements.
Smith and Hill. And Jeremy Clements, you said it right there in line as well. Nick Sanchez painting that line.
The bottom's pretty organized. Sanchez giving a huge shove. We talked about the alliance of RCR. Oh, look at Austin Hill up the track.
Guys into the wall, and there goes Austin Hill around.
I tell you,
Caution is out.
He was out of shape a lap or 2 before that.
Hadn't had an overtime all year. We're going to get extra racing 2 weeks in a row.
Yeah, Nick Sanchez gave him a huge shove down into the corner, and you could tell that Sanchez could actually hug the bottom, and Austin Hill is just chasing his car up the racetrack. Finally got out from underneath him.
Well, we talk so much about, timing and scoring, and where is everybody at the scoring loop and all of that. And I just look at those drivers inside the top 5.
Sammy Smith.
Yeah, Sammy Smith's got damage, so you write him off. But and we just got confirmation. Carson Quapple will be the leader, will be in control. But look at those top 4 and the storyline that could come out of this race depending on who is able to get it done.
Watch right here. Austin Hill makes it 3 wide, going for the lead, not able to get clear. That's going to stack all these cars up, and the car to keep your eye on is that yellow 87, who's right behind third row back on the inside. They're going to get organized down the backstretch. Sanchez gets to the inside of Jeremy Clements, gives Austin Hill big shove down here. Then watch. I don't think there's even, there's contact right there from the 88. He's right on his bumper, though. Maybe got him a little arrow loose up the racetrack.
I just am really surprised Sammy Smith did not stay behind Quapple. Like, I hear you. But that's what caused all this chaos and essentially kind of took out 2 Junior Motorsports cars, was that, they ended up in a 3 wide situation because, they were clear. Your second, that's actually the optimum spot to be in these cars at the end of the race. And just, he took the run, 3 wide, and then here we go.
Well, it has really shaken up the front of this field as we get another look. Sanchez, man, maybe a little contact right there at the last second.
Remember we talked about we really don't think he cares about.
But I don't think he does.
No,
he's going for the win.
Yeah, Austin Hill's car was questionably out of shape, a few laps before. So, he's fighting some handling stuff. All it takes is a car to get a little bit close to your rear bumper, entering turn 3 where the car is most vulnerable at this racetrack, and you find yourself going around.
12 cautions. Now got our 4th red flag. Watch this hit riding with Ryan Ellis.
Oh, that camera gave us a lot of great shots.
Man, it
However,
did.
that's the last one of the night that we're going to get from Ryan
We won't
Ellis.
see it again.
Another look right there. Just slight contact from the 87. Pushes Austin Hill up the track.
This has just been wild.
I think expected as well, right? I mean, this type of racing, we see this. It's going to come down to a shootout now with all these guys. Let's get a good look there. Definitely a little bit of contact on that left rear quarter.
Yeah, more than likely what Sanchez is trying to do there, he sees the 21 is going up the racetrack. He's trying to time it to where, hey, he's going to move up and I'm going to have the
fill the gap.
I don't have to lift for the lane to be clear, and it just slightly mistimed.
Last crash involved 11 vehicles, 7 cars involved in this one. And some big names that had a real shot taking hits that likely put them out of contention. I mean, we talk about Austin Hill, Sammy Smith, Raja Caruth. Allgaier gets a piece.
Carson Kvapil's so lucky right there as Austin Hill was sliding up the racetrack. I feel like he's been unlucky a lot this year, but whew, that was close.
Well, you think about Carson, right? His dad, Travis, is a Truck Series champion. He's been close so many times. 4 runner-up finishes, 2 have come in the draft. Boy, I mean, tonight, I mean, we've said it so many times. We felt like he had a shot, but this could be his evening.
Well, unfortunately for Denny and I, no one picked him to win tonight.
That's right.
You know, so
no one loses the bet.
Right, yeah, that's right.
Let's hear from Jesse Love down to Carla.
Yeah, Adam, he just exited the medical center. You've been watching this race. Lots of cautions tonight. Your day ended 4 wide. What are your takeaways from tonight?
Yeah, definitely, disappointing move there. I mean, I wish it didn't happen, but, thought we controlled what we could tonight. Ran through some oil and lost some track position. And once the lights turned on and the sun went down, my car, my wheel and Camaro came to life. So I'm really proud of the team for making a really fast race car. And same with the 21. I thought we were able to work well together tonight. And, I thought we were in a good position there. It was going to be a tough mountain to climb with all the JRM cars doing a really fabulous job working together. So it was going to be tough, but honestly, my first time really watching the replay. I could hear it in my amazing spotter, Brandon Esch's voice, that we were about to tear some stuff up, and we sure did. So all the Monster Jam lovers out there having a field day tonight, I'm sure, but definitely ashamed to see a bunch of wreck race cars. At least we got an off week, so I'm looking forward to Indy. Probably going to wreck some stuff there too, I'm sure. But yeah, it was definitely a pretty tough look.
Where's the 2 team go from here? You mentioned the off week. You mentioned Indy. Only 3 races left before we get to the chase.
Well, I said before or after qualifying, I was going to try to start digging into that point lead on the 7 car. It doesn't look like it's necessarily going to happen tonight, but overall, honestly, not a terrible points today with the 17, the 00 having damage, and we got some good stage points. So, I think try to do our best, Tony Stewart in the chase, and win some races. And I thought we got really good speed. Our team's clicking really well. Definitely a shame what happened tonight, but you're going to land on that side of the coin sometimes at these style of racetracks, and it's a risky run.
He talks about the points and the guys around him having trouble with what Carson Kvapil's doing here tonight. As they sit on track, he's up to 3rd in the standings. I mean, think about Carson Kvapil's run all these different cars, and now he's in a spot, and Jesse Love being greeted by the friends. Look at this.
It's like a sandbox. I gotta love Carla being so humble there. She did that interview, and all she had to do was tell us that she actually picked Carson Kvapil to win tonight in the pre-race show.
That's right.
I wanted to do that, actually.
I know you did, Carla. Good stuff. You're good at picking them.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Is this race over, or did I miss something?
No, I don't know.
No, it's not. But our picks are done. I can tell you that.
You guys
We're not
are
going to
out.
win.
Yeah. The head-to-head between you two.
Give the girl some credit.
We'll go scoreless. Maybe Carla can get her guy to victory lane. He's leading with overtime on the way here at Atlanta.
Back at EchoPark Speedway, we're about to get a couple extra laps from the O'Reilly Auto Parts Series as we go overtime. But Matt Noyce is the crew chief for the 39 of Ryan Sieg. You told me earlier today you were going to encourage your driver to play it safe for most of the race. Well, at this point, what are you telling him?
Now we go for it, lay it all on the table. He's done a really good job being really smart all day. We didn't have the best Psyop Chevrolet to start, but we worked on it a lot, and we got drivable. So now we can see if it's in his hands now. So go have some good restarts and try to go win us one.
Ryan looking for his first win. 5 times he's come up short, but what would it mean to finally get the first one, you think, in his home state at his home track?
Yeah, it'd be huge for him and his whole family. They put so much into the sport over all the years, so this would mean a lot to the whole Sieg family, Rod and Pam and Ryan and everybody. So hopefully we can get it for him tonight.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Dylan?
Well, Kim, Viking Motorsports continues to shine here during the summer months, and Anthony Alfredo is carrying the torch for the team so far tonight after Parker Retzloff was involved in an accident a little bit ago. He's running 13th, but Alfredo is running 5th. And if you remember back to their race in the spring, they had a tire that went down like 20 laps or so into the race, lost a bunch of laps, and then never really the rest of the night because of that. So coming here, they were leaning on the notebook of their teammate just to get them in the ballpark, and they've done a pretty good job of staying in the ballpark tonight and are in the mix here at the end. They've missed all the wrecks. Remember, this is the second team that was started late in the offseason for Viking Motorsports. There's been some growing pains, admittedly, but I spoke to Anthony today, and he said, I feel like we're starting to build some consistency and some rhythm with this group. We may not make the chase this year, but setting ourselves up to be in a really good spot to go for it next year, and runs like this certainly don't hurt. Alfredo's running in the 5th spot, Carla.
Yeah, and here with Austin Hill, who just left the medical center as well. You came back from so much tonight. How do you put this ending into words?
Yeah, our vintage Chevrolet was pretty good all night. I mean, it was fun driving through the field, but after like the second or third time, I was like, all right, I just want to be up front and see what our vintage Chevrolet actually has, you know, being able to lead and be inside the top 5. The air is so much different, so being able to work the air differently, being up front is a big thing. That was unfortunate. 87 and I were working so well all day, and I haven't really seen the replay great yet, but it seemed like he was just trying to push really hard getting into a 3 and super light getting into 3. I was kind of loose all day. A lot of guys were, and it was just one of those things. I kind of got up the track and couldn't save it. Yeah, it was, the 87 just barely got to me, but hey, we're going for the win, so he's still in it. I'm not. Hats off to him. So hopefully they can bring it home for everyone at RCR. That's an alliance partner of ours, so hopefully they can get the job done.
You were out there. You kind of know the feeling of this track and all the different cautions we've had. Do you think it actually goes green and finishes up?
With seeing who is like in the top 10, probably not. Yeah. Guys are getting pretty wild tonight, and there's a lot of guys out there, even veterans, that are like super brave and are putting guys in really tough spots. So it's probably going to keep happening. Yeah.
Some analysis from a guy that's been out there in the middle of it.
This has been a marathon.
It has been.
4 red flags.
I mean, look at this, our top 5 prior to the choose. And you got 3 of the 5 going for their first career win, and the other 2 have combined for 3 victories. And I just look at Ryan Sieg. You know, here's a dude that's been close so many times, 5 runner-ups. He was leading, I think it was at the white flag here in 2022, first time in the draft, had his heart broken that night. And boy, to win close to home, I mean, his hometown, Tucker, Georgia, is an hour away. It would be so cool for that race team that has put in so much tonight. Career start 441.
5 great stories, no matter who wins that, right? I mean, all of those will be really popular wins within the series and great stories to tell.
And we could very well get our 3rd consecutive first-time winner in a race at EchoPark Speedway in the O'Reilly Auto Parts Series. Sanchez running 2nd now. Got it done last summer. Sheldon Creed earlier this year.
Remember way back when we said Ford Junior Motorsports cars were up front?
Yeah.
Like 4 hours ago, though.
Hey, here's the other thing to think about. You know, you get this 2-lap shootout. You better make your move early, because once that white flag comes out, next flag ends it. If you're not in position, you may not get your chance. Quapple goes outside, Sanchez inside.
Interesting he took the outside. We've seen that inside be really good. However, he did get the lead on the last restart from the outside. He's going to have a great pusher Ryan Sieg behind him.
That's my new pick. shout out Jay White.
I'm going Jeremy Clements. What the heck? Give me 51.
I just think he's in a tough spot on the bottom. I just think that where Sieg is at on the second car outside line, you're going to get a big shove at some point. What are you going to do with it?
I'll just take the front row then, since we're just doing random things here and there. I'll take the both on the front row.
Hey, how about Brandon Jones back in the top 10? Another Georgia guy. Yeah, that's crazy, right?
Damage,
they just fought and fought and fought.
I think the aggressiveness of Nick Sanchez is going to be hard to beat. Carson Quapple's car, extremely fast. And Denny, you said something a little bit ago on one of these restarts. It's not necessarily about what that front row does. It's the second, the third row. How do they get tied together?
Yes.
But you look how small the field is. That's going to impact this restart as well. There's just not going to be as much happening.
Always watch the third row. That is the lane that will clear. Whatever third car is closest to their lane, the leader of their lane, that's the lane that's going to clear.
Second week in a row, we get overtime. Sponsored by Credit One Bank. For what's ahead, a 2-lap shootout. Quapple, Sanchez on the front row.
Ready, green.
Oh, that's second row, Jeremy Clements. Yeah.
Clements is turned. We get a crash, we get a caution.
That was anticlimactic, man.
13th caution of the night.
It's got to be some sort of record, right?
Oh, it's a record. Caution flag laps.
Here's what I would tell you too. And this is what Austin Hill referenced. I mean, Carlos said, "Are we going to get another one?" And he looked at the running order and he talked about the
more than 50 feet.
Yeah, the inexperience.
And I looked at it. It looked like it started with the 51 not getting a great restart, spinning his tires. The 7's on him. 7's probably got somebody right behind. Well, I think Brandon Jones, if I remember right, was laying back slightly. But the 7 just didn't quite get off of him.
Well, we get a good view here from the aerial shot.
Yeah, there's the 20 laying back. I saw that. I just think the 7 got a hold of him, and he just never could let him go. Yeah. The 7, at that time, the 7's already, he's getting pushed by the 20 because the 20 had caught up. So just a chain reaction of once the 51 breaks traction here, everyone's getting shoved. So there's just no getting off of him at that point.
You mentioned about Junior Motorsports. Dale, better hope Carson pulls this off because they just keep slowly eliminating themselves.
Tale as old as time itself.
Well, 3 of the top 5, when you talk about the best as far as laps led tonight, are from Junior Motorsports. I mean, Sammy Smith led the most, but Carson Quapple is up there. So is Raja Carruth.
Well, I can tell you that if you're Nick Sanchez, you're glad the caution came back out because his race was going to be over right there. He had lost his help with Jeremy Clements behind him. You can watch Jeremy Clements' hands in there. If we go back and show that replay again, as soon as he starts putting the power down, he is just wheeling that car.
Nowhere to go there.
Watch Jeremy's hands in here. Second car back, the blue and white 51. You see him already, like before he even got to the throttle, it was like he was spinning the rear tires. And
well, he made contact with the 87, so maybe he's trying to give the 87 a break, and then,
This is a good view right there, look.
It happened a little bit before this.
Oh, you see him trying to shift there. Just cannot put the power down.
Justin heard the comment about the third guy is the most important, so he was trying to get that line going.
Yep.
By the way, we have set the record most cautions in series history at EchoPark Speedway.
Congratulations, guys. We did it.
Yeah, nice work.
So a week after we get our first overtime of the season, we get double overtime here in Atlanta. Kim?
Jody Meesemer calls the shots for the 87 group of Peterson Racing. Nick Sanchez, an aggressive driver, an aggressive restarter. So how do you like your chances here in double overtime?
Good. I wish we could choose the top, but hate to give up the front row. just hate the 21, all that happened, but it's part of this kind of racing. But I feel good about our shot, but just see how the restart plays out.
And what would a win mean to this small group?
Oh, it'd be huge because it is a small group back at the shop, and it'd be really huge.
And just a reminder, Nick Sanchez was the winner last year here at this racetrack, albeit in a different car. But remember, he's splitting time in that seat with Austin Green. Austin Green is on site. He's actually up at the top of the pit box as well.
Well, you know, Austin Green's been going to all the meetings and helping out when he's not racing. And so I give him a lot of credit because they've kind of, you know, yo-yoed this thing back and forth as to who's driving the car week to week. But Austin did a great job on the road courses out west, finished top 12 both races. Sanchez finished 12th last week at Chicagoland, and here he is tonight. And you talk about the Peterson Racing Group, owned by Doug Peterson, multi-time Trans Am champion, driver, owner, as you see Austin Green here. It's their first full season. They formed the alliance with Richard Childress Racing. They've had their fair share of growing pains as a new team, but they've gotten better and better. And talking the garages, they'll have 2 full-time cars in 2027 to lay the foundation with a victory, and what that would mean, it just would be huge.
Well, the big thing, too, and Denny will appreciate this, when you're a team owner and you're spending all your money, when you can win, you're willing to spend more money. When you're not having success, it's hard to keep going, but when you have some success on the track, it drives you to want to get better and better.
Top 6 prior to the Chews have combined for 1 win in the history of the series.
It's interesting to see Sieg down on the apron, wondering if they think they're close on fuel. I don't feel like anybody's really mentioned that. Surely they can't be with the amount of caution flags we've run.
Yeah, but you know, if you think if anyone's dealt with some fuel problems
just
this year,
a precaution, maybe. Yeah,
I mean, it's that Haas factory team, and that is an Alliance car.
But you got to think Carson's taking the top again. That's what he did last time by. Sanchez lined up on the front row again. Who's he going to have behind him to push him now, though?
Well, top
Brendan Poole.
Yeah.
Poole lines up behind him. He'll be a good pusher.
I mean, I go back to Daytona. Remember late, Brendan Poole was right there in the game.
Placed in position to win that race, yeah. And he might be in position to win this, too, if he can push Sanchez out to the lead.
I mean, look at Viking. Alfredo, row 3, Retzloff, row 4. And Retzloff with a chance to really solidify a spot in the postseason tonight with only 3 races to go. He's plus 70, just got to finish it. And look at Allgaier thinking maybe about saving some fuel, being concerned. Run a lot of laps here.
Yeah, with the pickup being on the right side, the car's kind of, they're counting on the G-force of the banking to kind of take the fuel up to the right side. That's where the pickup is. So they're just doing a little bit of, you know, precautionary. Let's get it back in the filled back up here before this restart. And after you saw that restart on the front stretch, if I'm here, I like to give the rears a little courtesy spin as well. Just get them a little,
prep them up a little bit more.
Let's get a little heat in them here. Just make sure we get a good launch.
Front row, Quapple, Sanchez. Quapple in control, behind him, Ryan Sieg. 2-lap shootout, double overtime.
But Denny mentioned the 3rd car in line. I look at the bottom to Allgaier. Saw how good he was on this last restart. Was able to get hooked up. What can they do here?
Green.
See if we can finish it this time. Sieg out of line.
Oh,
I'm wondering if that's fuel, right?
Wow.
Look at that. Nick Sanchez, big push, low lane from Brendan Poole.
Allgaier. Allgaier's dragging something right there from maybe contacting that wreck earlier.
Look at Retzloff coming through.
Look at Brendan Poole to the lead.
Brendan Poole pushing through. Inside lane 44 for Alpha Prime.
Wow, Allgaier helps him go through. They're both going to clear Sanchez, it looks right here.
Tommy Joe Martin's going to be losing his mind as we come back to the white flag, and once we get the white flag, the next flag will end at Brendan Poole leads.
Brendan's going to have to defend right here from Sanchez. Oh, Sanchez to the inside.
There's contact. Sanchez into the wall. Allgaier is leading. We stay green for now.
Look at Allgaier's car dragging all the way around the track.
That's Parker Retzloff behind him.
Yeah,
he would love to get his first career victory.
Yeah, without some help, I don't see Parker getting there, but Carson's coming with a big run here.
Here's Allgaier coming off the corner, trying to get his second Atlanta win. Quapple is there, but it's Allgaier who delivers his 6th victory of the campaign. Oh my goodness.
Wow, Carson Quapple with Sieg running out of fuel, it just crushed that outside lane. I did not see the 7 win in that based on the restart before.
They had 2 cars left.
Yeah.
They finished 1-2. Well, I guess Raja was in there as well. Came back, finished 9th.
The car was dinged. The sparks were flying. But Justin Allgaier finds a path to his 2nd career victory in the draft, and the 2nd time he's got it done at EchoPark Speedway.
This group is such a blessing to me. You're a blessing, Jetty. Love you guys.
13 wins this season for Junior Motorsports. It's been a torrid pace for them to start 2026. And it's not even the start anymore. We're thinking about the chase, and the run continues. 12 straight wins in the draft for Chevrolet as a manufacturer. 34 wins for Justin Allgaier in his career, 6th all time. Spent his week at a softball tournament. Did his prep on Teams calls with crew chief Andrew Overstreet. But when he showed up, he was ready to play. And he gets it done. And once again, Carson Quapple close, but just unable to get over the top. Let's hear from Allgaier.
Boy, and I will tell you, for as late a night as this is, the race fans here have stuck around. And they are here to celebrate. Man, you had sparks coming out of this thing, coming to the checkered. We had all these reds, all these yellows. How did you survive the day and ultimately end up here again?
Right here, this team, so proud of everybody at Junior Motorsports. We had 5 great Chevrolets today, and I knew at the end there was going to be some guys close on fuel, and you just never give up. Andrew Overstreet, this whole 7 team, Eddie the Hans Spotter, they talk over and over again about not giving up, and that's what this team's all about. So I wish my wife and kids were here. They're not here. I got to say, a big thoughts and prayers to Rick and Christy and Sierra Brandt. They got some stuff going on at home. And,
how about that, Mike? Rick Brandt, baby.
Bill Markham from Round Kennedy Parachute Team. We lost him this week as well, and it's been a lot. But Mike Jarrett Logistics, so cool to have these guys here with us today. Mike's right here. So proud to get them back in victory lane. Hey, buddy.
Hey.
I told him I wanted one of those barrels before the race, and he delivered. So all of our partners, Brand Fresh, Agriculture, Arby's, Roto-Rooter, Carolina Carports, HendrickCars.com, Logistics, Chevrolet, the Hendrick Engine Shop, Hendrick Chassis Shop, every man and woman that works at Junior Motorsports. You fans, it was electric. I didn't know what was going to happen at the end of the race there, and it came down to one. So, man, God is good all the time. I got to thank K1 Race Gear, Ride Helmets, Off Axis Paint, just everybody that's a part of this organization. It's been a rough week. Motorhome blew a tire and crashed, and glad that my driver's all right. We've had all kinds of stuff going this week, so this makes it a little sweeter.
I was going to say, winning helps a lot, doesn't it? 6th win of the year for the 7 team. Justin Allgaier, a winner again in Atlanta.